جنوب يا ماما يا نانا نانا جنوب يا النجمة يا النجمة نجمة جنوب يا جوا قمرة يا حبيبي جنوب يا جوا قمرة كيف نستانية نية يا فات النجمة نجمة نجمة نية جميلة النجمة وو نجمة نجمة بمورية بكوري في شجرة بقول بنية بنية بمورية بنجم في الشجرة بقول بنية بنية دولة بتاعنا الدولة دولة دولة هنا دقنا باب لماما كله فتالنا هنا قلنا سلامات لمريم هي سلم علينا هنا قلنا أكيفو كله وقفوا لنا جنوب يا نانا يا نانا نانا بابا بفكر في الشجرة عشان يربي يالو ماما بفكر في الدنيا عشان ما يتشاف بنية بفكر في قلبة عشان محبة جنوب يا ماما يا نانا نانا بنية يا فات النجمة نجمة نجمة بنية جميلة النجمة وو نجمة نجمة قمرية بكوري في الشجرة بقول بنية بنية جنوب بننن في الدنيا بقول بنية بنية جنوب يا جوا قمرة هي جنني جنوب يا جوا قمرة كيف خلانية جنوب يا بابا جنني كمان 3 بنات أنا لقيتهم في السكة أنا شفتهم ماشي لمدرسة حبيبية 7 بنات أنا لقيتهم في السكة دي أنا شفتهم ماشيين كنيسة كله جيرانية بنية بسلي لربنا بنية 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 بمجد ربنا شوف بنية بنية مسؤولية الواحد في الدولة يا نجمة نجمة مسؤولية 2 في الدنيا يا بنية بنية مسؤولية 3 في الدولة دي يا بابا ماما جنوب يا ماما عليزا يا ودي شباب جمجمة جنوب يا سيستا يا مغلظ مشوار جنوب يا ماما يا مدوى وبني مسؤولية واحد دولة يا نجمة نجمة مسؤولية 2 دنيا يا بنية بنية مسؤولية 3 دولة يا بابا ماما
مرحبا 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 بالمشاهدين والمشاهدات المشاهدين ومشاهدات تلفزيون زوم. This is our prime time. كالعادة احنا متشوقون جدا جدا نشوفكم في حلقة النهاردة. أرجو إنه أنتوا تكونوا كلكم بخير. مرحبا أخويا أوليفر فهمه أن أخونا فيليب ليمي، سيستر فاطمة جيوة، علي رمضان، يودا جورج أنيون، شارون موريس، وبعض الإخوة والأخوات اللي جايين. أنا هأذكر أسماءكم بالتبعي as you come along. مرحبا بكم. This is our prime time زي ما احنا قلنا، وده الوقت اللي احنا فيه بنتقابل كل أسبوع وبنتشوق إنه we meet together. يا ريت انتوا الموجودين دل you share the video. Thank you for the likes and the love hearts. Share the video. We are on as always. انتوا عارفين طبعا لما نخوت العلامة بتاعنا الكثير ده معناه انه ده زمن الرواقة، نتروق ونقعد ونتكلم مع بعض. We discuss issues in a more lay, you know, more nicely يعني ما فيه مشكلة، ما فيه العيون الحمراء. So please share the video, share the link, share it with your network, share it with your friends. Let them come on board. Let's discuss. There is a lot going on في جنوب بالذات في الأسبوعين الثلاثة أسابيع الأخيرة دل. There is a gazillion stuff going on. وإذا أنت ما منتبه أو أنت ما واخد بالك what is going on ممكن يفوتك حاجات. يعني أنت في نومة وتقوم من النوم أنت هتلاقي نفسك حاجات كتير فاتك. لكن of course قبل ما إحنا نوصل لمرحلة نشوف إحنا متوقعين الضيف يجينا الدكتور أركانجيلو نيلا. He's still trying to come through. كل اللي هيحصل عندنا هنا إنه we are, like I said, we are not the expert, but you know what? It is a good idea sometimes إنه الناس تتفكر، يعني الناس تقعد مع بعض وتفكر وتقول وتشوف المشاكل اللي بيحصل شنو، وناس تتكلم فيه. لأنه مشاكل ده ما ورسل زول واحد في جنوب. انت طالما انت مفكر، طالما انت you can think, you can, you know, you must have some thoughts about what is going on في جنوب. سواء في اي بقعة من جنوب السودان. المشاكل اللي بيحصل في جنوب ما اثره ما اقليم، ما لوكالي، انما له اثر على مستوى الدولة كله. الحاجات اللي بتحصل اي كان شكل اللي بيحصل when you look into it انت بتلقى انه المشاكل دي لها ابعاد كثيرة. So إلى أن نبتدي ونشوف what is happening with الضيف بتاعنا. I'll leave you with this coming up warm-up song for us, and I'll see you shortly. Thank you.
lost along the way of freedom. Many, many heroes we lost along the way of freedom. Many friends we lost along the way of freedom. Many, many heroes we lost along the way of freedom. Many friends we lost along the way of freedom. Many, many heroes we lost along the way of freedom. Many friends we lost along the way of freedom. Many, many heroes we lost along the way of freedom.
طيب احنا استمعنا لإيمانويل كامبي way to freedom. Yeah, it is true. الطريق الحرية شاق متعب وبعيد لأي زول فينا مفتكر إنه يمكن إحنا وصلنا لما تم إعلان استغلال جنوب السودان في يوم 9/7/2011. إحنا ما وصلنا لسه. ومن هنا خليني أرحب وأقدم تحياتي وأوصل تحياتي لأخوي إيمانويل كامبي، أقول له إنه يا راجل ده أنت صدقت في الكلام اللي أنت قلته في الأغنية دي بالذات. الناس ما فاهمين الأغنية ماشي وين. الأغنية الكلام اللي أنت قلته في الأغنية ده لسه ما يتحقق، لسه بدري على بال ما نقول إنه إحنا اللي وصلنا في محطة الحرية. It's still a long way. على كل حال كالعادة we have our Zoom decorum. أنا I'll give you the little bit of it. الجزء السهل منه. لو أنت فيما بعد عايز تجينا بعدين make sure إنه أنت لابس، لو أنت ولد ولا أنت راجل لابس لبس أنت ممكن تطلع به لبس محترم. I don't say بدلة ولا كرافتة، ده ما هذا الموضوع، لكن لبس كده ممكن تطلع به في الشارع وممكن تمشي what we call بالإنجليزي casual. البس casual it's okay. مش النوع بتاع العضلات برا والسكس باك والحاجات ده ما it's not it doesn't ما بيليق بإنك عايز تتكلم في السياسة وتكون قاعد بالسكس باك. كان يماجن أوباما قاعد بالسكس باك برا وفي قدام ميكروفون ولا وقاعد يكلم إنه داير يكون رئيس أمريكا بالضبط كده. لو الفكرة دي الصورة دي ما داير يجي في راسك that's what we are asking here. That goes the same to ladies. البنات والستات is the same thing. لبس معقول مش اللبس الثانية اللبس إغرائي ده ما اللبس اللي احنا عايزينه، لأنه we need to talk about the politics, we need to talk about what we are talking about here. الكلام اللي قاعدين نقوله هنا هو ده المهم، ده اللي عايزين نستفيد منه، لأنه عايزين نستفيد منك وتستفيد مننا والمشاهد والمستمع هيستفيد معك. ده كله that's the whole idea. So يبقى إنه أنت لما تجينا تنسى موضوع اللبس الإغرائي ده تخليه. حاجة تانية كلنا بعد كده لو والله لو أنت جاي أنت لما فاهم أي حاجة التريث أفضل. أنت لو جيتني في آخر 5 دقائق وأنت ما فاهم الموضوع أصلا شنو وده جاي تسألني what is the topic ده ما تجي stay away. أقعد تحت واسمع البقية وخلي الموضوع زي ما هو كده، وبعد كده you know what it is okay. Then when you sit by yourself you can watch the video so you understand what exactly is going on. وبعد كده لو تاخذ المعلومة الكويس منك ولو في حلقة تاني ظهر في التوبيك أو شبه التوبيك ده you can actually voice your opinion. أيضا لنا كلنا إذا if you're a bit intoxicated that means إنه إذا عن طريق شراب مخمر أو بودرة محلوس أو you know ده اللي هيخليك مثلا تتقطع في الكلام you wouldn't know what you're saying. You can put one and one together. If it is encouraging you to come, I would say don't, because I'll pick it up and you won't even see the screen. So done. It is because أنا مسؤوليات. This is مسؤولية. This is a historical responsibility that we're doing here. It might sound to some people like it's kalam farik, like it is not. What we're doing has a place in the heart of few thousands of people in the country and outside the country. So that must mean something. That must mean, a few thousands who listen to us, who watch us, who agree with what we're saying. If we say don't sow it la filan, that filan is more definitely يسقط في انتخابات. صح ولا غلط؟ It is حرية. So we don't make up stories here. We don't claim to be the experts here or أي حاجة. We say the facts as much as we can get it. عشان كده when you come, whatever we say اللي بيطلع من عندك ده هو لازم يكون كلام مسؤول، عشان بكرة بعد بكرة لما يسألوك ما تقول you know what, I'd said that while I was under the influence of a substance. And you want to turn around and, for example, and say, no, this is not me, and it was not. مع الأسف الشديد, without going into موضوع details الحاجات اللي حصل لبعض الناس online في حمامات وما أدراك وكل ده, we do not delete our videos. Our videos remain as it is. بايظة كويسة. So and إنت ما حتقدر تمشي لأي محكمة عليا أي محل تقول لهم إنه you want us to delete that video, because the first question is, did you know, they've made it into this disclaimer, they will never delete any video. If you say yes, and that has been said in every single video, then you're done for. Al-Mahim, this is the little bits that I have to put in there. All of us paying attention to it, we are all good. We decide not to pay attention, we are all out. So you'll miss out, not because you wanted to miss out, but you'll miss out because you're unable to follow and acknowledge the fact that there is such a thing called the rule of law, and the law is above all of us. Kullana, that law goes all over, even myself and my co-host Rikujo. إذا أنا مشيت غلطت وجيت بفنيلة تاني كيف he has all the right to stop me. He will leave me down تحت هناك, and he'll make sure he cancel my management rights to get in until after الحلقة, just to make sure I don't disrupt. So you see, the whole thing goes on top of each of us. I've been advised by my co-host Rikuju, who will not be sitting in today due to family engagement that he's in. He is working with our guest to come through. Our guest will be coming through, and we will be, like I said, like I described, Arabic and Ingilizi in the comment in our comments. There is moments of change in South Sudan, and that is true because 2 incidents في أسبوعين ولا 3 أسبوع اللي عدت حسا موقف البلد فوق رجله. Of course, we know the first incident is the People's Coalition call for action, civil action. Okay, and then Gitguang's declaration that ousted Dr. Riek Machar. أو بالأصح that the split that happened within the SPLA-IO, that has been long coming, but now it went a little bit further. Now it has spilled blood already. ومن الموقع ده خليني أقول عايز أقدم تعازي للأسر للناس اللي فقدوا أرواحهم في 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 اليومين الفات دل في the fighting that has erupted. If you bear with me, I think that's my guest is trying to get through to me. Just let me ensure that just let me get my guest first in. I'll get back to you shortly, guys. Sorry. It just disconnected. That's fine. All right. That's okay. It's gone. It'll be back again. Yes. So that's the thing. This is what is happening. So مع تعازينا للضحايا اللي حصل وكثير هنشوف كثير بيحصل. السؤال هو ان احنا نحاول نستوضح بعض الحاجات. We will try to be find some, like I said, I'm not Dr. Riak, I'm not General First Lieutenant General Simon Gadwich, I'm not any one of this. I'm not عضو بتاعت the PCCA. إنما we will try to decipher for ourselves. المواطن الماشي في الشارع يفهم شنو من الحاجات دي. هنقيف لبعض النقاط عشان نقدر نعرف if that is something that we can actually do something about. كان المواطن ممكن يفهم ولا ما يفهم. So that's the idea. Once we were able to get that information around, then المواطن يكاد بيكون في موقع بعدين يقول okay, that's good. Now I understand a lot of knowledge that's going around, and أنا موقف بتاعي وين كمواطن. now أنا عرفت كل الحاجات الحدث اللي بيحصل. So that's our الحيز. That is what we are trying to get to. That's the reason we are trying to look into this. We will not be looking into it in such a way زي ما الناس متوقعين إنه الموضوع يتشاف بطريقة إنه لازم تحللوه. ده لنا في محل تانية. لكن المواطن الغلبان ما عنده وقت للتحليلات الصغار الدقيق اللي لازم يعني كل زاوية 90 درجة وما أدرك 45 وما أدرك كل الحاجات دي. This is what we're going to do. Yes, I got a message now. They're still working with our guest, but let's read what my friend Bidal Suba said here. I can envisage in the current climate a split in the IO's splitting Dr. Riek against those in Johnson along. Okay, and God knows what the consequences might be. I watched George Amum's show yesterday, and the things he pointed out were very unsettling. It is true, brother. It is unsettling. It's unsettling because the question that really, if you're looking into that, there is one question that you need to ask. Can you see any resemblance between what is happening in IO's camp with what happened in 2013 in SPLM caucus? It's a logical question, isn't it? Do you see any resemblance with the minor difference? SPLM caucus, when it happened there, at the beginning it was political. In the Riek's camp, when it happened here, it is military and political straight away, right on the start. So history is repeating itself, but in a different version. Or that's me reading it that way. History is repeating itself. So if history is repeating itself, then we need to be questioning a million things. There's other things that we need to question as well. So it is, like you said, all what is happening here is it's unsettling. Yes, Brother Angelo Cassiano, welcome. I hope you will also join us to discuss what is going on here. Because in our show tonight, we will be looking at a couple of things. So we'll be looking at this PCC, the People's Coalition for Civil Action, and then and also the Gitgwang of Magenis Declaration. Don't worry, Nawal George. You will get it at the end. ما هو عشان كده بنعمل حلقة زي ده عشان إنه نجيب المعلومة بشكل مبسط لنا للناس للمواطن. لأن المواطن هسه لافي في جوبا ولافي في واو ولا لافي وين في رومبيك ولا لافي really كل لما بس جالس قالوا لا شكل لقام في أبا نايل. في شنو؟ They really don't see it happening because it is not on them. عشان ما في زول دار يفهمهم. لكن لما يوصل بقى هم جارين. that's when they realize انه شكل اللي كان بدا زمان في رومبيك ده وصل هنا مثلا. بدا زمان في ابا نايل وصل هنا. عشان كده بنجي بطريقه مبسط جدا بعيدا عن كل النظريات السياسيه وكل الاطروحات اللي بيتقال هنا وهنا وحصل كده وكان ده كده وكان منو ورا ده ومنو ورا منو. المساله ورا منو كله زي الجنوب ده كله ورا زول تاني. مصايب جنوب ده كله زول ورا زول. ما انت هتمشي فيه اقول لك بالبساطه هيكون حكومه ورا منو يافي جوا حكومه هيكون الرئيس ورا منو ورا الرئيس هتكون اكلكور ورا في منو تاني هناك هيكون في معرش الوزراء ورا في جنرال ورا كل زول ورا تاني. ولا في اللحظه ده المواطن فعلا بيتوه لان المواطن ما مواكب. يعني المواطن ما فاضيين يكون 24 ساعه دار يعرف what is going on. يا اخي المواطن تعبان وغلبان ومنهوك عايز يعرف يعيش عايز يعرف يربي عياله بالتلتله. معلش شويه يعني زينا شويه كده مع الناس تانيين يعني we are not privileged لكن شويه كده في شويه انه ممكن بنفهم شويه عاقل اللي فينا شويه ده بنفهم شويه نحاول نقلله نبسط الامور للمواطن على اساس انه المواطن يقدر كمان يعني يكون عارف ويشوف what is going on عشان يقول انه يب في مشكله حاصل في المحل كده وفي حاصل كده وحاصل كده. ده زي ما انا قلت عندنا نقطتين we need to be talking about and really don't want to keep going لان انا عندي اسئله وعندي طبعا احنا هنفكر لكن انا هدي الفكره العامه عن الموضوع او النقطه الاول على بال ما ضيفنا يجي اللي هو موضوع بتاعت الائتلاف الشعبي للعمل المدني وده ترجمه ل People's Coalition for Civil Action. احنا عرفنا انه هم اصدروا بيان في I think last week اوكي على اساس انه هم قاعدين يعملوا mobilization للشعب الجنوبي على اساس انه هم الشعب يطلع ويشيل الحكومه. بمعنى اخر هم قاعدين يعملوا mobilization للمواطن الجنوبي الغلبان في كل حته على اساس انه هم just give me a second. معلش يا جماعه احنا ما بنتابع بنتابع مع الديف بتاعنا على اساس انه يوصل صوت بطريقه عشان ما في مشكله اتس اوكي. سو هما مجموعه من الناس هما 4 افراد ساسه مفكرين نشطاء كويس 3 منهم في داخل جوبا او في داخل الوطن 1 خارج الوطن قرر انه يكتبوا اسباب مغنية تماما وخطوا تحت للناس انه يقول للمواطن انه enough is enough. الزمن جاء انه المواطن يطلع الشارع ويشيل الحكومة يعني يشيل كير والجن كانسل اوف إلدرز ويشيل اكولكور وجماعته ويشيل الجنرالات كلهم يليزهم في كورنر ويمهدوا لحكومة جديد حكومة بيرضي المواطن وينتشل المواطن من براثن الفقر والجهل وكل الحاجات الكعب الحاصل كله فينا ده يلا. بمعنى أخرى إنه المواطن الجنوبي يقوم في انتفاضة شعبية زي ما حصل في الخرطوم زي ما حصل في تونس زي ما حصل في ليبيا زي ما حصل في وفي ده ببساطة. يعني لو أنا بس لميت الديكلاريشن ده كله ده الديكلاريشن ده عايز إنه المواطن لازم يحس ويقوم فوق لأنه المواطن ما ممكن يكون بس قاعد كده والجماعة ده بس كل يوم يقوموا يتحسوا ويعملوا زي ما هم دارين يعملوا في المواطن. من غير ما نمشي كتير في جوا صادف إنه يومين أو 3 يوم بعد ما البيان ده طلع واحد من الموقعين على البيان اللي هو كان الحاكم الأسبق لولاية شمال بحر الغزال اسمه كولا جوير او اكولا جوير، معلش ما تمسكني في الاسم، but I'm 100% sure من اخر الاسم قبضوه. اوكي قبضوه. so فضل 3، لكن نقول في when we talk about في داخل جنوب السودان فضل 2. طبعا الواحد اللي برا البلد ما حيقدر يلحقوه، لكن الاثنين اللي جوا هناك ده as reported they are in hiding, but still they are able to communicate messages بتاعهم. they are able to انه يتصلوا مع الاعلام، راديو تمازج وما ادراك وكده، and they are able to communicate مع ناس برا. so it's still going on. of course في اسئله هناك، هل هم عساكر؟ هم هل بس يعني بس الشعب ده بس كان برك في شارع كده ولزع حكومه برا، هيلزع حكومه كيف؟ طبعا حكومه طبعا ما هيقعد ساكت. ما زمان تتذكروا زمان كير قال البوليس بتاعهم ما عنده ما عنده طلقه رابا بوليتس، ما عندهم طلق مصنوع من البلاستيك، ما في اللي بيفضبوا المظاهرات، ما عندهم قنبله شتى. قالوا لما قال له انت عندكم شنو؟ قال عندنا ذخيره حي. احنا عايشين في دوله هي مصيبه. يعني بوليس ما عنده ادوات تفض المظاهرات هنا بتاعت المواطن من قنبله شتى وما ادراك، ومن مويه يترشى عشان يفرتقوكم بو وما ادراك وحاجات دل. لا، عندكم ذخيره حي. محزله. So that's the thing. So the question now is هل الشعب في وضع ممكن يقوموا whenever ساعة الصفر لما يجي؟ هل الشعب في وضع انه ممكن يقوم في واو، في ملكال، في 10 الولايات، في كل المقاطعات بتاعه والبايامس؟ يمكن ناس البايام دول هيجوا المقاطعات ويقوموا كده فر وجوطة في كل محل في يوم واحد. هل ممكن يقوموا كلهم؟ ما هو ده سؤال مطروح للمواطن، والمواطن has to do this. مديدة حرقاني which one? Do it knowing you might get killed مثلا in the process, you might not see the end of it, or you might see the process at the end and you're not sure about the end of that process. You might go through all the bullets and fires and everything وتشوف آخر الموضوع بينتهي وين. but then هناك there is two questions. would it ينتهي إنه في حكومة جديد، ولا هينتهي إنه في حكومة القديمة اللي قمت وراها من أول اللي لسه قاعد؟ بمعنى إنه لو الحكومة القديمة اللي لسه قاعد هيزداد بطشا، هيكون أكثر عنفا، هيكون أي حاجة فيه هيكون with multiplication of 100. Everything they are doing now will be multiplied by 100. So المواطن لما يقرأ الأسباب، يس أسباب مغنية الذكر في بيان الائتلاف الشعبي للعمل المدني، المواطن فعلا بيحس إنه ده الكلام اللي صح، ده الكلام اللي صح المفروض يحصل، جات الوقت إنه يحصل. لكن الطامة الكبرى أو السؤال الكبرى اللي بيسأل نفسه إنه هل المواطن الجنوبي في مرحلة إنه يكون هناك؟ and I'm quite sure الضيف بتاعنا just popped up in the studio. If you are listening to me, is your camera is مقفول. You are in the studio, but yep, just get back one step and make sure your camera is on. You can see yourself is on, and then you come back again. Yep, you're getting there. Now it is just on camera is stop. If you click on that stop cam, it will بفتح الصورة بتاعك. You need to select your camera في اللابتوب then, if that's what it's doing. Yeah. You keep doing that. I'll bring you up once you're ready. Yep. So فالمواطن هنا بنسأل أسئلة يعني زي ما نوال جورج قاعد تسأل قبل إنه what is going on, you know. So this is the سؤال السخن اللي بيجي بعدين. ولما الناس يمرقوا في الشارع والناس قاعدين تموت وبتاع وشنو في الضرب وفي كذا حاجة بيحصل، هل المواطن التاني اللي في جوهوش هيمرق ولا هيفتر يدور له على حتة يداري فيه؟ دكتور لسه الكاميرا بتاعك ما فتح. So you need to select ارجع ورا one step under the camera, select the camera which would be your face to face camera on laptop هناك. انت بتشوف نفسك straight away لما ترجع step ورا. yep. once شفت نفسك that means I can see you لو تجي داخل before you enter the studio. yep. So المواطن هي دي المعضلة. هل المواطن هيتجاوب ولا ما هيتجاوب؟ وشنو الحياة، شنو اللي هيخلي المواطن يقدر يتجاوب؟ دل الإشكالية اللي هنا we needed to fight to figure out كيف يعني. ده جزء ده. of course الجزء الثاني في البيان ذاته هم they are just making sure إنه الحكومة يتشال. but what is بديل؟ ده من اللي جاي يبقى حكومة. they don't seem to have mentioned that في ورقة بتاعهم. لأنه it's sort of شيل حاجة برا وخلي المحل there will be a vacuum. ده هتبنيه جاي ينوت فوق هناك عشان يكون حكومة. So these are the some of the questions that we're trying to find an answer to. Yes, أنا معاكم قلبا وقالبا إنه it's enough is enough. It's time for this government, this regime to go. But what is the بديل؟ لأن البيان ما قال أي حاجة. لأن المواطن ممكن يتجاوب مع البيان لكن بيجي في حتة بتاع إنه then who لما نمرق شارع ونسفك دمانا who's the بديل؟ ده منو البديل؟ ده جروب، ده مجموعة، ده ناس، ده منو ذاته؟ ما you cannot enter a tunnel ظلمة في النفق مظلم without knowing there is a light at the end. At least حتى لو انت ما شفت tunnel how the distance you will see that white light, you will know that is the light at the end of the tunnel. بس قال لك خش tunnel وبعدين كله ظلمة بس، ما هو مش ذاته تعبار. يمكن تصدم في حياتها هنا، يمكن بس قدامك هنا في مترين. So ده يمكن ده النفق المواطن الجنوبي بيكون عايز نوع من استيضاح بالنسبة للناس القائمين بالبيان، إنه هم يقدر يشرحوا للمواطن بشكل مش فضفاض لكن بشكل يعني واقعي. يس هم ما عسكر، هم ما كله، هم ما كله، هم نشطاء بس دارين يتأكدوا إنه المواطن قام وسار وكل حاجة. But the next step is what next? Once لزوا حكومة بارك جماعة جيروا من ربطهم بحبال ولملمهم وخمخمهم وكله، يزيد الجيش هينط فوق، هيقول إنه أوكي هناك يزيد رياك مش هيجي ينط، هل هو هيكون من ضمن المقبوضين؟ يزيد أكل كور ولا منو؟ So all of these questions need to be answered really as to لأنه عدم الإجابة للأسئلة ديل it's sort of يخد أي زول يسبكيلات زي ما هو داير. مرحبا سيستر كريستينا. كل زول هيكون عنده مشكلة كبير بعد كده. كل زول بس هيفكر الفراسه الله هيقول لك إنه ميبي جماعة متواطين مع ناس فلان ولا ناس، أنا قصدي جماعة بتاعت الائتلاف الشعب الناس PCCA يمكن متواطين مع ناس فلان ولا مع ناس فلان ولا مع ناس علان. This is جنوب. Anyone can say whatever, So يستحسن إنه يكون في نوع من استيضاح في الأيام القدام طالما هم قالوا حسب تصريح بتاعت رجب مهندس في 24 ساعة اللي فات تقريبا إنه المرحلة لسه مرحلة mobilization، مرحلة تعبية بتاعت المواطن. يعني الكلام ده فيها شغلانة تقيل. يعني التعبية يا ريت إنه يكون إنه في ناس في كل مدن بتاع جنوب السودان، لأنه التعبية بس ما بيكون كلام في التلفزيون أو في الراديو أو في فيسبوك. coming up. Yep, now I can see you. Great, doctor. If you're ready, do this for me, I'll bring you up. قاعد اسمعني كويس؟ Can you hear me? If just do this. If you can hear me, وقطع تاني. معلش يا جماعة. الضيف بتاعنا is now كان جاب من غير صورة. now هسه جاب الصورة. I'm not sure whether هو قاعد يسمعني ولا لا، لكن he's almost here. So we'll be there. We'll be there very very soon. So أنا قاعد أشرح لكم الحتة ده بتاعت إنه البيان ما هنا عشان نقرأ البيان، لكن مجمل البيان اللي قلنا لكم إنه enough is enough. الناس تعبانة. ده كل البيان ده عايز أقوله. So you can hear me. Great. Well done. دكتور أركانجيلو. المشاهدين والمشاهدات، معي دكتور أركانجيلو نيلا. زي ما احنا قلنا رجل يعني له سابقة في التاريخ. ما في حاجات عدت في السودان، مرت السودان في أيام هو كان طالب ولا حد، أكيد لازم يكون له أفكار في الحاجات الحاصل. فمرحبا بك دكتور. مرحبا بك في التلفزيون زوم. مرحبا الضيوف موجودين. أنا كنت لسه بس قاعد أمر مرورا عاما في on the stuff that are happening, and especially probably tonight we will be stopping on 2 points because I've described this episode as a tour, a political tour on the events that are going on in South Sudan nowadays, especially in the last couple of weeks or so. Basically, the main ones are the declaration of the People's Coalition for Civil Action. That is the first one. And then the second one is the Gitkwang Declaration, which resulted in the ouster of Dr. Riak from the leadership of SPLM-IO and also as the commander-in-chief. So we will be talking on some questions that I might go through with you. We'll try. I'm not saying you're an expert, you're not, and I know you're not a member of SPLM, IO or anything. You're just someone who can think for yourself, and you can look at stuff, what that's going on in South Sudan, and you can make up your own mind. Your mind is free to think, your mind is free to tell people what is happening in your own way. That's how you analyze your things. And no one should hold you accountable that, oh, he said this, doctor said that, that must be what is happening. Not necessarily. Just like whatever I say here, I'm using my own brain to try to analyze. I'm not an expert. Definitely you're not an expert in SPLM-IO affairs. I'm not an expert in SPLM-IO affairs. You're not an expert. Both of us are not experts in the People's Coalition for Civil Action affairs, but the stuff that they are dealing with, we are people, because whatever they are doing is going to impact all of us as Junubin. So you're welcome, Dr. Bambo. I will give you a chance to greet our viewers, and then I will then take straight away as to what we are trying to do here. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Nderinda, are you hearing me well?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. And I would like first to greet your viewers and all the people who are on your screen tonight here attending. Mm-hmm. And to say that this might be the third time for me to come on your ZööMTV. It is one of the interesting web show that portray what is happening in South Sudan, especially in our area, to the people worldwide. People in Western Barikazal, especially particularly, they are voiceless. There are no people there who are representing them, talking about them. I'm sorry to say that there are politicians who are around, are keeping quiet, maybe because of situation that they are facing. They are inside the country, and it's very difficult when you speak. We hear that there is another house there called Blue House, and you are taken there, and if you are taken there, you may come up dead or alive. So they keep quiet. And we find the opportunity that we, the people of South Sudan in general, and people particularly from Western Barikazal, has a chance to view or to air our grievance or something about what is happening at home, so that our people should know about it. So I thank the Zoom TV, especially you, Mr. Nderenda, and Kurikuju and other people who are always talking on behalf of the voiceless people in South Sudan as a whole, and particularly our people in Western Barikazal. So tonight, we just want to say I'm not an expert. I am a medical doctor. I worked in the Sudan for Sudan at the same time, and then South Sudan for a long time, almost maybe 2 decades. And I left the country because of the political problem, not the one of the SPLA now, the previous one of those of Bashir. So we are here earlier. But when we hear about the independence of South Sudan, every one of us was interested to go and see home and see our people, knowing that our people have taken the grip of the country, and it might be better. So I was one of the people who ran immediately to go there and to say, I don't want history to be written in the book for me, and let me do the history, because since I was born in Wow, grew up in Wow, started my school in Wow, and until I finished, and I moved from Wow to Khartoum and then to Egypt, where I studied my medicine. So I am familiar with things in Wow from childhood until maybe the age of 19 when I left Wow. So nobody can deny that I don't know anything about Wow. Politically, the government in Wow, who are the people there, the indigenous people of Wow, who are these people, I know them. And I know that there are settlers who came to Wow. Of course, in any country, there are settlers. Like here in America now, we cannot say we are Americans, but we are settlers because there are people the indigenous people of America were there. So any place, on earth has his own indigenous people. You cannot deny that. If you go to Awil, you know the indigenous people of Awil. If you go to Raja, you know who are the indigenous people of Raja. If you go to Turid, you know, and then they accommodate settlers to come to stay with them. And this is what is happening now in our area. So things have turned upside down all this time since the independence of South Sudan. But I don't know whether I'm going off the line. But,
no, not really. I've given you that introduction, so you can introduce yourself. That's very good. Because actually, the two topics that we'll be covering today, especially these two declarations. Actually, both of them are declarations. We will have a question to do with what is going on in Western Bargazal. For us in ZööMTV, we used to call it Western Bargazal. We don't need to call it anymore. We don't need to explain. Don't be surprised if I keep saying Bahar al-Usud. So just accept it from me like that. That is just us doing our own thing. Politicians will push it later for a reason. We have a reason why that the state name must need to be changed, because we're tired of being taken for granted all the time. Things has to do with the name of under the Greater Bargazal, and we are not even part of it. So that is a different issue altogether. But we will definitely be touching things to do with Bahar al-Usud state later with each topic. And if you don't mind, let's go with the first topic, which is the People's Coalition for Civil Action declaration that was made, I think, last week or the week before the agreement. And of course, when you read the whole lot, basically what they're saying is enough is enough, with people handling the mismanagement, the killing, all the atrocities that the government, the current regime is committing on us, Junubin. Enough is enough. They're urging people to come out, in order to take away, in a populist uprising, to take out the government. All right. And I might say similar to Khartoum uprising or Tunisia or you name it. So that's what they're urging. This is great. It's a great effort, especially when you realize that out of the 4 co-signatories to the declaration, 3 of them are actually in Juba. All right, 3 of them are in Juba. That, to me, it is an advancement in our political history. We are advancing now. People start doing things from زي ما بقول مصريين بيقول فهمه كتاجر كويس. People start doing it there. مش من برا نجري برا نمشي نيروبي نمشي يوغندا نمشي نعلن declaration من هناك and then مرنا متمرد. No, they بيجي فهمه كتاجر. These 3 people managed to do it there. One of them got arrested. The other 2 are in hiding, but they are still vocal. They're still talking to media houses. They're still, doing what they are normal. They're still updating people of South Sudan as to what they're going on, what is happening. In your experience, of course, you definitely تعديت بمرحلة بتاع نيميري وحاجات وكل الحاجات دي الناس الصادق وجمع صادق المهدي. انت مريت بشيء مشاكل اللي كان حاصل. By then we were one Sudan. In your intellectual opinion, how effective do you think this call is بالنسبة للجنوبيين كله لجنوب السودان? And then if you zoom a little bit into بحر الأسود للناس نبتة بحر الأسود, because now this call has been made in Juba, but who in WoW is amplifying this call? Anyone? Because I'm asking you who in WoW is amplifying this call is because you're from WoW. If I had somebody come up later from Central Equatoria or Eastern Equatoria or Western Equatoria, I will ask them the same question, because this call is important, yes, but it has to be amplified everywhere if it has to be effective. So what do you think, in your experience, how effective is this call?
Yeah, in fact, this is the first time for me when I got this clip and I went through. It is like a revolutionary way of coming up to take the government out. Like, as you mentioned, like what had happened in Tunisia in 2011, like what had happened in Khartoum, even with this Faddal Tisam, and all these things. These were the revolutionaries, which made this claim, so that they are fed up, they are tired, and they say, we want a change. Because if you remain in this situation, you will die. If you go to the street, you will die. So which one do you choose? I think the people of West South Sudan will choose to go to the street. But is it really genuine? Because there are counter things that came after this clip, counter things that came out, like it is like a game. For me, I don't know, you will have to elaborate more also on your side, like a game. Because all the people who were found to be on this side were associated with the national security. And this is my understanding. We're actually associated with the national security. And it seems like...
So you mean the people who wrote the declaration, or...
The people who wrote the declaration, there are people inside with them there that are with the national security. If you don't understand that, if you look at it, there are people with them there who are with the national security. This is what I know. I call home because we're friends there. And they say, really, these people are genuine. But look at it. There are people who came out that they are what do you call it? They are the people of Gogrial, or the people of genuine people from that area, and they were trying to go to talk even to the president that these people who are doing these things are not realistic. They are people who want to overthrow you in one way or another. So there is nothing certain there about what is happening, because, as you said it, these people, how can they be in Juba and they are talking that way? It is very difficult for anybody now to be around Juba unless you are associated with the national security. I'm telling you the truth. I try to figure this thing. I try to talk about it, try to read about it, read many times, but I am also in a dilemma. That is not the real thing.
And of course, being in dilemma
Yeah.
is not a new thing, because this is South Sudan.
Yeah.
South Sudan, a lot of things in South Sudan will throw you into that dilemma of mind, and you wouldn't even know yourself at the end of it. But it seems that there's a lot that you're saying there. So that still hasn't. Does that mean when I ask you how do you think this effective this call is? So do you think after your findings, as you've just mentioned, do you think this call is still effective to the people?
Yeah. I say this call is effective if it is really having the meaning of what had happened in other places, other countries, like what you have said in Tunisia and other places. If it is, but if it is, there is a foul thing about it, then it is not effective. I know that it is effective, and people are fed up of the regime of Mr. Kiir. Let us be very frank. Nobody can doubt that he is happy. Those who are there are just yes men people. They want to feed, they want to survive, and that is why. But the people now, of the real people of South Sudan, even the military, the people who fought for the liberation of this country, are now begging. Their children are in the streets. They don't have money. Those who never fought, who were with the government of Bashir, now are the one enjoying the dividend of the independence. Imagine, can that be something? So the people now who came up with this thing are genuine, but there are people who want to go in to diffuse this thing. This is what I'm telling you. They are genuine, but there are people from within who wants to go in to diffuse it so that it is not effective.
As a matter of fact, that last bit that you've said there, I've got a question that will come after this as to what is happening there. I'll come up with that question, but let me after listening to to you painting the picture of what is happening with people suffering. Yes, that is a genuine thing. People are suffering, and no one will tell you that they are happy with the system. Everybody is fed up with the system. That's true. But then, because of the way the security organs are operating in the country, if you he will still tell you, no, I'm happy. Salva Kiir Abuna, but when Juam, it is not there. So the question though is, are the people ready? Because we need to know, are the people ready?
I can tell you, the people have reached the limit of their tolerance. They are ready. Good. But they want somebody who can gear up with them to take them across the river. Somebody who can defend them. Of course, the military. The military is, if the military is behind the citizens, everything always will go down. And as I'm mentioning that the military are the people who are suffering. They are the people who are begging on the streets. They are the people who have children are not going to school. So, and they are staying 6 to 7 months without pay. Imagine, how can you work? How can I work for you without pay? And I'm seeing you eating, drinking, sending your children abroad, going for treatment, and all these things. Why? Is that independence for you or for all? So the people, they are waiting to see who will ignite. Once it is there, like something in the tunnel, and then the fire will go. So as they put it, that they are coming in 3 weeks' time. We'll be very frank. People have to speak out, like Mr. Abraham Scholl, although I don't know him, but he said this man will go. Not everybody will stay permanent and or mafia. There is time that you will finish all what you do, the atrocities and everything, and you will go. So this is what I say now. This time, people are determined, and people are just waiting who will take the lead, and then who will be defending the mess. And
Great finishing there, Doctor. That's a great finishing there. Dear viewers, don't stop breathing. Remember to breathe. Can you please breathe? Because I know watching such intense talk will make you sort of stopping breathing. Can you please breathe and share the video live show with your network and give us the likes and the hearts, please. Don't stop breathing. This is important. It is intense. You will catch yourself not breathing. Please breathe. We still need you. Thank you so much. Dr. Bambo. Now, if I have to move this thing to WOW, people are fed up, definitely. People of WOW are not different than the rest of the Junubin. They are also fed up. Question: who is amplifying this call in WOW, or who should be amplifying this call in WOW, in your opinion? Thank you.
Yeah, as I put it, WOW people generally seem to be peace-loving people. And always they look to see things happen, and then maybe they come slowly after it. The people in WOW, nobody is now ready to say anything, maybe except the Usud. And I can tell you, the Usud are the only people who will amplify the situation and to stand up. Because as I said, most of our people are like engulfed and they cannot speak. If anybody talks, tomorrow you will be on the plane to Juba, to Blue House. So who is going to take that risk? But in one way or another, I can say in those days, even with the Arabs, people of Western Barkazal were talking. I can mention many people. They were put in jail. Even during the time of the Arabs, they were being lashed. They were being put into prison. And they were talking. But with this current regime, things have really, because they have the plan. What plan that you have to terrorize, kill them, send them away. So these people are quiet. But as I tell you, if one who can amplify this, the Usud are the only people who will get a jeer for this.
Doctor, it is interesting. You mentioned that Al-Usud should be the one amplifying this call. But this, the group that came up with a declaration, they are civilians. They are the civilian activists, and they did at the end, they've mentioned that their main job and focus is to mobilize the people so that the people can oust the government. They don't seem to have said anything about who will take over the governorship. Okay. Now, if you're saying people who are supposed to amplify this call in Bahar al-Usud should be the Usud themselves, who are military, what happened to the politicians? Don't we have politicians who can really, or what happened to our civil activists within the state who can say, look, hey, if those guys in Juba are putting their neck under the mushar, then we are doing it here as well. Don't you think that model is a little bit difficult? Al-Usud, يقوم amplify so they gave في وقت إنه داير أساكر. Just to clarify to the people a little bit, please. Yeah.
No, as I told you earlier, that our activists in Western Barkazal did their part. You remember in 2012 when they came out just with the leaves and they were protesting peacefully for the refusal of sending their county to Bagari. It was a very courageous step. I saw it myself. I was there. These people walked the street and they demonstrated to the people, even to the whole world, before everybody, that this thing cannot happen because we are an independent nation and we have the right to talk about our place. There was no need to send a county which is established in an area to another place. So these youth, they walked, they came out in mass. But what happened? They were terrorized. They were terrorized by whom? By their own people. So now it came to the truth that they are there, they are active. But who is to take the lead to support them? Because in any movement, like what happened in Khartoum, the military might also be on the side of the people. The military have to be on the side of the people to avoid atrocities. So the youth are there, as I can tell you, the youth are there, the people who are there who can amplify what the people in Juba did. But what about the national security? They are torturing people. The people in Juba will do it because they are under the camera, they are in the city, and there are foreign agencies there that will see. But in Wow, there are few people there, no foreign agents and other offices there, and they can be killed just like it happened when they were shot like donks on the street in Wow. I saw, and I was the treating physician by then when we took people to the hospital and they see corpses on the streets. That was bad. That was a bad side. That impression will never erase from my head. In the town, the broad daylight, to open fire on civilians who were going just with the leaf. What do you think? These are the most courageous people, and they're the first people who shot the gun, or their voice for what is happening with the government of Kir. Nobody. And then after that, the people in 2013 and other things, but people in Western Barakaza were the first people because they were against that hegemony or that anarchy.
That's great. That's really, it's an interesting take there. And it is just, it leaves me wondering with that last question in regards to this People's Coalition for Civil Action, where they said they're just, all their concern is to get the people to move the government off, but they don't have any. That's a little bit hard because you don't do things like that. You don't take the whole government out and you have no plan for anything that happened after that. That's a little bit vague. Maybe if I, for the sake of putting it into a nice package, from what you've said, maybe Al-Usud is there, they're supposed to amplify us to do this. Maybe Al-Usud is the one to go and take over the government. In other words, the military should take over then. But then when you zoom into our military, or whatever they call military, that's that IO SPLA, which is not the regime, which is not the army of the country itself. We haven't done anything. You move Kir with all his entourage, with Dictoria Kulum, and the military generals take over. It is like Kir is sitting there still. So you haven't done anything. So it is a bit unfortunate that it is very unfortunate that we are unable to say the military can even take over. And that's exactly leave the door wide open for all the speculation that's going on. People are saying Akolkur is behind the whole thing, or no, Kir himself is behind the whole thing, or no, Generalat Filan, they are behind the whole thing. So that's why I keep pondering earlier on in the first minutes of this hour, I was saying this group perhaps need to make it more clear to the Muatin what next. If Muatin Laza, what next? Because then that will leave the Muatin to be able to get into Shara, knowing, hatta lo talga shalo farasu, they know the end result, why they died, rather than just moving into the whole thing without anything. Let's move to the next question, just so that we don't get dwelling on this. We've been dwelling on this for some time now. Let's talk about the the Gitkwang Declaration. Brother Bidalo Lolo Suba, I will ask my co-host who is watching with us to try to post these two declarations, the PCC declaration and Gitkwang declaration on our page, the ZööMTV page. So whoever is interested to read those two declarations, you will find it there. Thank you so much. The IO, of course, Doctor, had a major split among themselves. Of course, this was not it, but it started some time back. You know, you remember, I'm quite sure you'd remember when it was, we woke up one day to hear that Dictor has appointed the First Lieutenant General Simon Gatwech Dual as the advisor to President Kiir. There was a decree coming up, blah, blah, blah. So we were like, whoa, where is he? And we realized he was in the bush when this thing happened. And it wasn't even that long, we had the response straight away from General Gatwech, who said, no, this is not correct, and I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting this because this makes no sense. Now, that was where the whole thing started. Now, my real question is this. Before even I ask the question, is Dr. Riek unlucky in his life, in his career? Is he unlucky? I'll mention a few things just to, to show a little bit. Things are not okay. Nothing he has done has gone right. Things will come to him on a plate of gold or a golden plate, but somehow he will lose this opportunity, which seems to be like in the Arabic بيقول يمكن هو منحوس. كان أنا شلت شوية تبع جنوبين so we understand. Maybe the way he's so into Ngundeng is backfiring. It's not really helping him out. Otherwise, how do we explain all the opportunities that has come to him slipping from between his fingers? In 2016, Tabandeng ousted Riek in a failed attempt. So that happened to him. In 1991, Riek had a quarrel with the late Dr. Garang, went to Bashir. He didn't even survive there. They had quarrel. He came back. He had a misunderstanding between him and Lamakol. He had a misunderstanding with, you name it, anyone. There is no politician that Dr. Riek has come into contact with who he has kept as someone, good person, good relation. It will last for some time, they will fall apart. Hell, is it a bad omen on him? Why? Why am I asking this? Because I'm really coming down nicely to see to it that this man, the last chance he had in his hand is to really quit politics. But since he doesn't know how to quit politics, this bad things keeps happening to him. Now, the generals, Bethal, they are not in good terms with him for about 2 years now, almost 2 years now. They are indifferent. لأنه من ما the signing of the agreement بتاع اللبط في خرطوم ده حصل كويس. And he said to them, I want to go to Juba. Jamal Galo, you cannot go to Juba. You cannot go to Juba until you are 100% sure the security arrangement is implementing everything. So it temshi badalat. What did he do? He decided to jump and he left. That starts the misunderstandings. Correct? He called them to come to Juba. Generalat Abo. Generalat Butao, they refused to come to Juba. Because Generalat are the one who really stick to the agreement to be implemented correctly. Riek did not. He looked after himself, and that was it. Now the declaration of Gitgwang Laman came around. They've made it clear that Riek has engaged himself in the policy of divide and rule, okay, and nepotism, and that is in a direct indication to his wife being the Wazir al-Difa, his in-law, Marif. It is the family thing, family business. So they accused him of all of this. Now, the first question I want to ask about this is the military council, when they met Meganis last week, and they made this decision, they come up with the decision to dissolve the political and the military by taking Riek off as the leader of the SPLM party, and then take him out again as the commander-in-chief. If Riek believed in that, because I'm quite sure when they were making this decision, the military council is the highest council in the party itself, or in the both politically and militarily. If Riek believe in the same document that they are looking into, they're using it as their Bible, that guides the SPLM-IO, wouldn't it be right for Riek just to say, okay, the generalat, galul kelmaten, and that's it, I got to abide by it? Would that be a problem for him? Or was it a mistake by the generals to do that? So what do you think? Do you think the generals just crazy in their head? No. Or they're doing the right thing? And not just by them, they're doing it by the people, because they said Riek only has his own interest of his family, but not the interest of the people. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, thank you. As I said before my speech, that I am not a politician. I'm an academist. And I am not an IO or SPLA as such. I left the country a long time, in 1994 when I came to the United States. And although SPLA was there fighting, the other political parties in the north, I was not part of them. I was not interested in politics, actually. And such that there are questions that I might not answer, because the politics in South Sudan is just something that you want to get so that you can fit. There is nothing there because as I went to when I went if the governor says something, then all of you would go and replicate the same thing. Otherwise, you are against the government. So that means this is not politics, because in any politics or anything, that if somebody tells you something, you have to have your own view to judge it. So this is what had happened, like I told you before, when the decision of going to Bagare was made, and then we went to write our petition and write our name to sign. That was not the case, because this is not in the constitution or even in anything pertaining to the wilayat. So the message went to the governor, and my name was seen there. And the next day he called me, so you are a politician? I said, no, I'm not a politician, but I'm working with my people, because my name, Arkangelo Nella, will not be on that I have signed that should be transferred to Bagari, because my children and my grandchildren will come and they will say, Dad, you did this thing, so you are a traitor. So that means if I say that I'm against the government, then this is not politics that they practice in South Sudan. You have to be a yes man. Kir say something, yes. Rizek say something, yes. Everybody, yes. Otherwise, you will not eat the bread.
Yeah.
So Mr. Riek Machar, I can talk a little bit about him because I know him. He is my personal friend.
Oh.
I were in the same class with Riek Machar, 72. Before the Addis Ababa agreement, the first one, he was in the class. He's a mathematician, and he was doing the elementary. I mean the first the class. I mean taking mathematics, and I was taking biology. So I knew him from that time, and he was friendly. I didn't know that he was Nuer, because many people classify people Nuer and Dinka, and these people were just one people in the class talking everything. So I met Riek Machar many times and as a friend. But the time he stepped to the bush, of course, he became a different person. So politics grew up and went on, and things went on. The second time I met him was in Nairobi in 1994. 91, when they did the coup and they went to Nairobi with those of Lama Col and other people. So I met him there again, and I was there with Lama, and I said, what was the reason for your coup or something like this coming out? They said this man was a dictator, Grand. So I told him, but why, since the war started in 83 and then up to 91, if this man was a dictator, why do you keep on being under him? Since then and now we are approaching something to deliver the country out from the enemy, and you are coming out now to split. So they said, no, we have to split because we have to do that. Otherwise, this man will take us down. So that was the second time I met him, and I chat with him. And not that, he even went on to say, I should join his government in exile. So I was put as a minister of animal resources. By then, I already finished my papers coming to America. So I went to him. I said, my friend, this is a late thing. I cannot accept the position, portfolio. My name was already something in the newspaper. So I told him, no, I'm not going to accept this. I'm coming with my family to America. So I left. I never saw him again until independence. I went again to his office. When I greeted him, I had a picture with him. So he's my personal friend, but he is unfortunate, as you said. Just we come straight to what you have said about the Gadwich. Gadwich, of course, said a very good thing. Gadwich, I don't know Gadwich, but when he was talking on the radio Tamazuj, I was hearing it, I really said, this is a man that will stand for the people. Because he was not speaking on his own behalf, but he was speaking on behalf of his people, the military, the people who are dying, the people who are in the cantonment center, who have no medicine, who has no food, who have no clothing, who have nothing. And then Riek abandoned them without doing any of this security arrangement and went to Juba. That is just like you are the head of the family and you abandon your children. And you went to go to marry another woman, and you left these children there dying. This is an example Riek did. It was very bad. So Gadwich came out and said, how can I accept your position to be an advisor to whom? The government. I'm a rebel. How can a rebel be put into the government? This is one question that I really appreciate what he said. How can you put a rebel in your government? Because a rebel, I didn't agree with you. So that means it is a foul play because they want to bring this man to diffuse him like what they did. And he mentioned it. He said, "Ita dar ana namshi hinak fi Juba عشان أشرب موية باردة يكون زيك."
موية mahaya.
Yeah. I really like this man. If I see him, I will kiss his leg like what people did to
the Pope.
The Pope did to these people. Because he has said something that a leader can say. Riek Machar cannot say this. Even our leader, the president, Kir, cannot say this. That my people, because my people, these are the people that he is fighting for. So this is a typical example that Riek Machar abandoned his people in the rain and all these people, and he went to Juba, forgetting that he was carried on the back of people to go to the
Congo.
Forgetting that when he was in South Africa, even from us here, from America here, we're calling to support him. until he came, and he was there under arrest. He was not talking. And now he went again voluntarily to Juba to be under arrest. If you tell me now to go to Juba, can I go to Juba? I cannot. I'm not a politician even. I don't have anything with them, but I don't want it, because if I go to Juba, I'm not free. Just like a bird, when you put it into the nest, into the cage, I will not be there. I don't have any problem with the government. I don't have any problem with the regime, but I cannot go there because there is anarchy. People are there suffering. People are there, they want a way to get out. Well, why should I go and put my neck there? So Riek Machar did a very big thing. And Riek Machar, the second thing that I hate him for is why always you want to be the tail? Why always you want to be the vice president? And you are the intellectual. Why don't you say, I want to be the leader? He said that during the time of the national, what do you call it, in 2013, when he said, I want to compete for the election. That was a voice of somebody. But after that, he didn't say anything. He accepted always to be the vice president. Until when? So he came in to be installed as a vice president, to the extent that Taban Deng, who was with him outside in the bush, every arrangement was done. Taban Deng came in, like the people who were coming to prepare the way so that the leader come. And Taban Deng turned against him, and Taban Deng was the first vice president. So what is that? That means there is weakness on the side of my friend here. And there is sort of a nepotism here. Here, all the people who are with him, there are only a clique of people who are supporting him, but the mass of the Nuer are suffering. I don't know why should they just go after him. As you mentioned, maybe they say, I didn't know when I was hearing that there is a leader who will come, a left-handed man.
Abu Falaja.
Yeah, Falaja, Ukida, and this is alluding to who? Only to Riek Machar, because he's a left-handed man. I know him when he was in the class writing with his left hand. So maybe he is having that illusion that he is going to be the leader in the future. But with all this thing now, he's not going to be. Riek Machar has lost the army. Gadwich now has the popularity. He took the army, and all the army are on his side. And he is with the few who are in Juba, and these people are already in the mouth of the crocodile. What are they going to do? Shortly, they are going to assimilate and go with the government. That's it.
That's
Which is going to be a man in his place there with his people. And he has the military, he has the army, he has everything. And he's asking for the revitalized peace agreement. But the only thing that I didn't agree with their what they said in Manganese, that he also can be the first vice president. No. How can he become a first vice president now? That is contradictory. I want to mention that exactly. He cannot be a vice president to whom? To Kir again? No. That cannot happen. We don't want another vice president for it. But let him be a chairman of the IO, and with his military people staying there in Manganese, and then we look to the other people. Well, what about where are the IO in Equatoria? What are the IO in Western America? What are the IO even in Gogrial? Who are there? Where are the IO in Awil? I know the IO in Golek, Johnson Oleng has come up. So what about the other people? Have they said their buyout to Gadwich? This is what we want to know. Because if they get the buyout from all these quarters to Gadwich, then Gadwich is the legitimate chairperson of the IO. This is what I can say.
That's very interesting. You've mentioned that bit. I'm not quite sure how many people, while they were reading all this communique that was coming out, from McGuinness, have come across that point and it stopped and went like, wait, what is here? What is that? What does that mean? Because it does mention something to do with the first vice president. And it just mentioned it and it stopped. So unless you, the reader, as you read that that communique, the declaration, and all the communique, that update that came after, you're reading, and at the same time, you have other information of what is happening in the country. You wouldn't stop in that, and that won't give you any hindrance. But I'm glad that you've managed to pick that up, Dr. Arkangelo. That tells a lot. And you keep saying you're not a politician. You're seeing things that people don't see it quickly. So so that's great. Now, at the last bit, you're saying there are IO all over the place. You know, IO in a wheel, IO, you name it. Of course, one of the things that are taken against Dr. is the fact that the man, he's so ambitious, but his ambitious is only about him and his family. He has nothing to do even with his soldiers. Of course, as a result of Gitkwang declaration, we had a fight erupting yesterday, and a lot of soldiers from both sides got killed, got wounded, blood, all of that. We actually we pray to God to rest their souls in peace.
In peace.
You know, it's there. The fact, when you ask yourself, the fact that Riek ordered his own troops against his own troops, it's like a snake is swallowing its own tail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how far will that snake go swallowing its own tail? It can only go as far. It will come a point where it cannot swallow it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That is just that. There is no call. There is no reason for that call anyway. By Dr. Riek ordering the remaining troops that are still loyal to him to fight against the new SIO under the commander-in-chief General Gatwejduo. There is no need. You know, if anything, the only person who gains from that is Kir.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, if Dr. Riek is thinking by doing that, he's appeasing Kir to keep him. Can you tell me what is the commitment, or what is the most important thing that will make Kir not wake up tomorrow morning? This is a weekend, isn't it? In South Sudan, to wake up this morning or tomorrow with a decree taking Riek off his position. What will stop Kir really?
Nothing.
Is there anything?
Nothing.
There's nothing. Since Dr. Riek has enough troops to order around to go and fight his own troops again, why didn't he use his troop to come and take over Juba, wala Yekun Garibin, just in case some things happen?
Mm-hmm.
So now the question, we're drilling it home. Let's zoom it down to Bahar al-Usud state. One of the things that Dr. Riek has been doing, he doesn't pay much attention to the lions in Bahar al-Usud state. As a result, we've seen in the past few months the wave of resignation of lions, politician lions of Bahar al-Usud state, resigning from the IO. Now, the lions themselves, according to me, are stuck somewhere in the dog's tail. They're not sure how to get out of there. That's a philosophy. They don't command my That is a philosophy. They are stuck in dog's tail, inside a dog tail, not knowing how to do things. Now faced with this upheaval that is going on left and right, what do you think is happening with them? Especially when we look around, yesterday we saw congratulatory message from General Dakumi to Dr. Riek Machar, supporting and everything. Of course, we haven't heard anything from General Abdallah Ojang or other generals, But in Bahar al-Usud state itself, with all these politicians who resigned from IO and with the Lions, seems to be nothing going on. So what is their stand? If in your own way of thinking, what should be their stand, or what is their stand, you think? Fadal.
Okay. Yeah, I think I cannot imagine what their stand is, but I can say that what is the development that is happening as a result of the declaration that it happened in Magenis to the Usud. You understand me? Because there is a declaration now there, and I think if you look, there is Johnson Ulang there, and if you look, the people, maybe some people from Equatorial, I don't know, but there is a sort of calm, quiet statement not coming from Western Barkazal. I don't know, you might have read about the Kumi congratulating Iraq. I never got that. But I was really surprised to say, what is their stand? Are they going to stand on the military side with the other people, or are they going to support Riek, who is inside with the government? Because if they are already in opposition, as they say, IO in the opposition, then they should keep on in opposition. And that means they have to go with whom? With Simon Garwich. Because Simon Garwich had made it clear that I cannot go inside because I'm a robber. My people are here suffering and they are not getting food, and I cannot go in without any security arrangement. Even in our Addis Ababa agreement, or in our CPA, that was the first thing that was signed, was the security arrangement. In the book, I have the book of the CPA here. Oh my God, I'm lost.
No, you're good. You're right.
Something just popped up in my face here.
Nah, we can still hear you and see you clearly. Just continue. That must
be. So this thing had made the people to know that Riek has abandoned his people, so there is no need to follow him. And now the people in Western Barikazal, or the Usud particularly, I don't know exactly whether they are with Riek or they are people alone, because in most cases, the people of Usud, with the youth who came earlier than even Riek Machar opposition.
Yep.
Opposition, when the thing happened in 2012, they were the first people who went to the bush, and they stayed there until 2013 when Riek Machar broke out from Kir.
Yep.
So the Usud are there, and that when the Riek Machar came out, they say, okay, since you are in opposition, why should we not ally with you so that we work together? And this is the stand of the Usud. I mean, the Usud are, if you ask most of them, they may say, yes, we are IO, yes, but IO means maybe we're not with Riek, but in secret, if you look at it, they are with Riek on the other side. So now the Kumi to say congratulatory letter to Riek Machar, that means this is a sort of a consensus that they agree with Riek. But if he agrees with Riek, that means automatically they are to come in. They are going to come in because you have already accepted to the opinion of your men whom you are opposing. So you have to come into the country. And ultimately, they are going to come in. And if they come in, then they are not again IO. and Simon Goodwich is going to be out there. So I have not, as you said, I have not heard from Abdallah Ojang. I have not heard from, let us say, to mention General Thomas Basilio. I'm sorry to say his name. I just got a clip 2 days ago. I think that his wife died. I have to pay condolences to him because of that. This is a very sad news that will happen, and that will cause him a lot of problem also with the family. So these are the people that we have to recognize what is happening now. And my question is, are they now with Gadwich, or they are taking the path like the Kumi with Riek Machar? Because if they are going with Riek Machar, then automatically they are assimilated. And that there is nothing. So some of the youth is the man that we stand with. So what I was interested in is that I want to hear their voice. That let them come up and say we are with Gadwich, or forget about it, because definitely you have to show your color. Why are you staying hidden there? The people now in Juba came out and they're shouting. Why don't you come up and say we support what Gadwich has said and we are with him? Death is death, life is life. So what is it? So this is what I say about the people in the Usul. They should come out and say something. I'm not an IO member, but still I say I'm concerned because these are my people. These are the people who are now protecting or standing for the cause of the people in Western Barakaza. I support them and I like them.
No. That's a logical conclusion to events that's taking place. I appreciate that from you, because honestly, what is going on? What befell me is the fact that I haven't heard anything from the former IO politicians from Bahar al-Usud state. I haven't heard anything from them. At least they should have tahlil يا أخي. أنت سياسي. You're a politician. You know, في الزمن الزحمة زي ده أنت بتخط تحليلك برا. سيبك مننا احنا الناس الساكت ديل ولا سياسيين ولا من الذي فيه كويس. بتخط تحليلك برا. As a politician, you are with this guy, you resign from his party, you know the guy, things that are happening now, you most likely go like, yeah, that's exactly why I resigned from him. The stuff that is happening to him now. None of them has popped out to say a thing. Okay. Al-Usud, they are sitting there. You know, they are sitting there, and the governor who is coming from the same Dictor is also sitting there. I understand the governor is sitting there is منتظر لو هسه في قرار طلع بغلط انه زي ما في كلام حسين محجوب قاله قبل شويه ان يا اخي ما هي الا ضوها الغد ويجد رياك مشار نفسه وحيدا بعد بيان سلفا المرتقب تحت اي لحظه ويجد انه تجرع نفس الكأس الذي سقاه لرفقائه. You know, the same, he will be drinking from the same cup that he has given to his colleagues, his comrades. You know, whatever that qarar is, maybe it will come back to what I قلت قبل انه does Riek think انه what nothing will stop Salva from coming out and say, hey, Republican decree number ding 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 ding, you know, disqualifying him as the first vice president. It can happen. It can happen.
He can do that.
And when it does happen, what would Riek be doing? What would he be doing?
If he had dissolved the government, he have dissolved the
he can dissolve the whole government, the whole cabinet.
So what about you? When he dissolved the government, he was the vice president. So
yes, exactly.
So
a lot of things can happen. Now, with that in mind, looking back at Bahar al-Usud state, starting from the governor, coming down, al-Usud until today, they are outside. They are not inside. Yes, they are still partner, ma hakuma, ma drag, lakin, they still have their own basis. There's no mingling up. That's understandable. Okay? But if General Musa Dakome comes up with such congratulatory message to react, and that's whether that is with with agreement with the remaining generals, well, that is on his own thing, which is most likely his own thing, which is actually undermining his boss, General Thomas Basilio. You know what? Things are not okay. In my own way of looking at it, things are not okay. If such congratulatory message has to come out under a structured military, structure, then it shouldn't have come from, unless General Dakome is the second in command to General Thomas Basilio. Maybe, I don't know. It's not that I'm ignoring them, but I'm just saying, and I'm not criticizing here, but I'm saying, if such thing is there, if that is the Lions' stand, then it should be coming from their highest officer. Not anyone who knows how to write Arabic and English jump on Facebook and start writing whatsoever and putting your own picture and what are you promoting yourself or something, or you never know. Now the next crucial question that comes in is what will happen if the IO under General Gadwage is now moving around South Sudan, attacking all the IOs that are loyal to React. Are they going to leave WOW now and leave the whole of Bahr al-Usud to go and fight? What are they going to do? Because I would believe that would be a mix-up in their own objectives as the Lions. Or what do you think about that?
Yeah, it is as you have said, and it could happen because Mr. Kir is somebody that when he thinks of something, he will do it. The simplest thing, as you've mentioned, is that Kir will get up in the morning and will say, there is Riek Machar is removed from the vice presidency, and we'll put another person. Maybe they are proposing to put
Bakasoro.
Yeah, this is it, because he had been promised. Somebody who had won an election independent in his state and was supported by his people, and he was being carried on their head. This is something that I really thank the people of that area, and I was thinking that this is their boss. But now what happened? To join the Oye party and then to put these people upside down, it's a great disgrace to these people. The respect that I gave to this man, so I wash it out. And this is what is going to happen to my friend Riek Machar and to everybody who is joining now. So if this happens, then what about the fate of the governor of Western Barakazal? What about the fate of the governor of Western Equatoria? What about the fate of all the people who are in the government and even in the assembly of Riek Machar? That means if you cut the head of
you cut the head of a snake, the rest of the body is dead.
Then it's dead. So those who are in parliament, those who are in the government ministerial position, what are they going to do? They don't have a head. Are they going to join Garwich, or are they going to join the government? This is the question now. We are looking at it. So it is really a big issue that if this man is relieved of his position, then things will fall apart. As we say, things will fall apart, and then those who are in the position of IO and in the government, they are automatically to be assimilated to the government, and nothing. They will not say
want to survive. That's the only way they can survive.
Yeah, of course they will survive. If you are in what, don't you assimilate to the government, and that's it, because your head is cut.
Yeah.
So this is what is going to happen. So the people who are now in Western Barakazal, the Usud, I'm sure they should come out and say something, because keeping quiet means you have accepted. Keeping quiet means yes. So they have to come out and say, although They don't know because there is something here. There is a myth about our people. Say we don't want to follow people now. We don't want to follow people. But you cannot remain as an island, especially in a movement like this. You have to cooperate with somebody who is even your enemy so that you can topple the most enemy. You can do that. So they cannot say we will not want to join with Gadwich because he is a Nuer man, and maybe the same thing that the Riyak did will do to them. Riyak really tortured these people. He's not given money to them. Even those who abandoned them, like our brother, he came there. He was there as an SG. He was not supported. He's walking in Khartoum on foot. His house is there. Nobody is there paying attention to him, and he is in problem. So all these people abandoned him because he was only looking after his own people, after his own clansmen, and that is the reason that people abandon him. How many people abandon Riek Machar? Many people, and even they are intellectuals, and some of them are here in America. They are the people who were with Riek, and they know Riek very well. But when they come to see Riek, they see Riek as an intellectual, as a PhD holder. But there is nothing in the PhD holder. You are a PhD holder, but you are not using what is you using. You are just trying to go follow after people and you want to divide people. So people have abandoned him. Now even some of his close people are saying that you how can you get out from Juba? It is now very difficult for him to get out from Juba. If your passport is removed, if everything is taken out from you, you are there. They are waiting actually to put him in the grave. There's no way. This man is gone out.
No. You're all right. Yeah, you're okay. Continue.
So did I answer your question, or what you say?
Yeah. Now you answered the question, and here's another question that come up from brother Dennis Lisa. Is Abraham Scholl's prophecy coming to pass? Because you can see everything is start. Of course, Abraham Scholl said Salva and Riek will go by the 9th of July. But of course, when I try to give it a little bit of a legitimacy, I would say prophecy is not necessarily has to happen on the exact day that it was said will take place, but can take some time. So is Abraham Scholl's prophecy coming to pass? That's the question. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a Namibian man also who prophesied something. I don't know whether you got that clip. That somebody is going to something.
Very quiet, a quiet person.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with Abraham Scholl, he's just like any other person who is in the society, and he's fed up. But being him somebody who is a religious person and reads the Bible, he comes up with things just like any other person to make a prophecy. But you know what? People who prophesy things like this would happen to be a reality. But time will come. Because he said he is going, he will go. Yeah. So we are waiting for that. He will go, He's not going to stay there permanent. So this message is clear and very clear for our brand that he will go. Abraham Scholl has made it, and now they are keeping him in jail. Let them release him from the jail. Because if they keep him in jail, his prophecy is going to materialize. Let him
he's got to fuel up everything.
Yeah, let them release him, and things will be better for them. This is what I know. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, that's great point there, Dr. Arkangelo. It's indeed it is really very enjoyable, talking with you, and having all these discussions here and there, because it really shows to our people some of the things that they didn't get, because not everybody reads all the stuff that are being posted around. Not everybody reads, but when we have such discussion like this, people get to understand a little bit more of what is happening. Now, let's go back to that Bahar al-Usud state. it still has to do with this situation that is going on, because, like you said, there's one thing about the people of Bahr al-Usud that at times it's not a good idea of not being proactive, doing things. 2010 election, not many of us walked out to vote. It is their right to vote or not to vote. That's okay. Census, when the census was being conducted, not many of us really wanted to participate in it. As a result, it backfired on us. It got our number to be 300 or 333,000.
33,000.
Yeah. Which is not true. I know that for sure. This is not true. Okay? Even the so-called government, no, it is not true. We are not less than 1 million. We're not less than 1 million. But of course, because we decided not to participate for whatever reason, this is what we get. The 2010 elections, when we did not participate that much, we got labeled. That's why Kir also hates us so much, because he marked us down like, Nasfaratidel, they don't want to, they don't want to support me. They don't want to support SPLM or SPLA, whatever they want to call it by then. Okay, we've got a lot of this type of not doing things. Now we are seeing this also. There is a call going out there to all Junubin for civil action. And nothing is happening. We are just adi. We are roaming the streets of Bahr al-Usud. We are okay. Those who call themselves politicians or semi-politicians are not saying anything, are just sitting there looking. All right. Now, the IO split has happened and has resulted into fighting and there's blood being spilled now. Our own lions, who I would call they were in alliance with the IO, they are looking at all of that and they are just sitting there. It's like business as usual. Do you think what needs to be done to get us as the people of Bahr al-Usud to really be proactive on things we want? Yes, if I want to be with you, but I'm going to be with you on my own accord. But I have to be proactive. I don't have to be reactive. So they're waiting until when it hit home. Then they go like, oh, we need to do something now. Now the governor can bail the ship and jump into the government, the main SPLM ship. And what would we do? Oh, that's okay. Well, yeah, that's what we will react. We'll just reactionaries. So what do you think needs to be done to get our people, somehow to start thinking? Because this question, believe it or not, will have to be filtered to each city. Mugata, Payam in South Sudan. The microphone is for you.
That one is a very difficult question, but I would like to tell you, as a citizen of WOW, who stayed in WOW all my life until I left WOW, people in WOW or in Western Barikazal are just like fed up of the situation or things that are happening to them, and the result is always the same. Let's say you talk about the elections. You go for election, the results come, it's not on their favor. You go for census, even your own people can manipulate you. And then you go for census, and at the end, the registration comes out and says there are no people there. Even the county that people are talking about now, and they put it as a result that we want more county, we want Makpon and Bagari, one county in Kwarjana, one county in Rinji, one county in Ujuku. They will come to the population, like what you said, that the population that is limited to create a county, you have not met it. So that is a simple reason that they give you that you are not there. But they forget that people ran from their areas during the war. People went to Khartoum, people went to the Western Sudan, people went to Congo, and many people because of insecurity. So people are not in that area. So that if you take the census, you'll find the people there. And this make the people of Western Barkazal to be fed up of the situation because everything that they do, even the results come out, it is not in their favor. So they say, what can we do? We just remain like that. I recall during for just voting for independence, I got my uncle, he's dead now. I told him we are to go and vote. He said, vote for what? Say you people will vote, the result of the voting will be against you and you will be the one suffering. And this is what is happening in WOW there. Why do I vote and tomorrow I don't get what I need? We, the people of WOW, we need also to be rulers, not to be ruled by people. The whole of South Sudan has got the indigenous people of the area in their places. You go to Awil, you go to Torid, you go to where, you get these people there. Imagine you go to Raja and you find a Shawish there in Boro. He's from a different tribe, not from the indigenous people. Who can understand the language of the people in Boro there that to communicate with the local people and he's from a different ethnicity? So these people just say, if we do this, tomorrow the same result will come to us. Why should we bother ourselves? We just remain like this. Let them come and rule us. So they just gave up. And this is not good, as you said. It is not good. But what can they do? Because all these things happen like that. If the commissioner of police is from a different ethnicity, if the prisons, the wildlife, they bring everything, even the fire brigade, from Warap, from Awil, from Rumbek. Like if you are called to come to WOW from these places, like you are going to Saudi, happy, because you are going to get a free house, you are going to get your security with you, and you are going to have a car sending your driver to go to the market to bring food, and the people who are there suffering. Why should we make people suffer like this in their own area? And when one of our people go to this area, he is put a floor, I mean, they put the earth and then say, smell it. Do you belong from here? It happened to many of our people who went to Rumbek, who went to other places. So we say, this is not what we want for the independence. Independence means you rule, we rule. Why have they lost confidence in us? Why should they not say, let the governor is there, is just a figurehead, like what happened during the time of the Mondukuru. They put the officer, but the Bulkamin was an Arab.
He's responsible, yeah.
So the officer there was just like this, and the Bulkamin would draft everything, and then say, I'm the Hina. And he just signed. This is what is happening to us. So it's the same istemar of the British, of the Arabs, and our own people want to impose it on us. So we cannot accept that, Jama. People should be realistic. If people want peace in South Sudan, every people should go to their region and then start to stay there. And then after this, we amalgamate. But now like this, I feel that the same. I remember one time somebody in Torid was saying, or in Ye, was saying that he started running to Uganda. And they said, no, don't run because the SPLA troops are coming and they will support you. And then when he woke up, he saw all the people said, no, these are not my people. They are like invading officers. They are the invading soldiers. So he has to run again because these people doesn't look like him. So this is why we say we want to make him one united army, because All people should be. If you look here, you say, you look here, you find it. Even in America here now, there was one patient who came from Chicago and he went to Minnesota. He was sick and he was operated on, and when he woke up, he looked like this. He saw a black lady nurse near him. He said, "Oh, thanks God. There is somebody who is here who can take care of me." Just by intuition. It is not that, it is something within. You look like somebody, yes, this is my color. You may help me. It is not that you should be tribalistic. There is nothing about tribalism here. There is nothing about ethnicity. This is the reality. You have to have somebody from your area who will be there. But police officer or whatnot, everything is there. And you just like, what is the difference between the Arabs those days in Wow? So our people are fed up of this thing, and that is why they say, people are going for the election, they are going this way, going to their farm to do something. They just want security, and then they go to their farm. They don't care about the government. So that is why we are always behind, and they say because we are fed up. But if they give chance to us, and if they give chance that you should talk, and you are heard, because if you say something, say, "Oh, you're against the regime, you are against the people." But how can you be against the people? You have to put your views so that people should know you are a citizen. Here, what they say in the Constitution 24 or something 25 expression of what expression are you going? If you say something that here in America you can say, "What is Trump? Let Trump go. Let Biden go." Still, you are a citizen. But if you say Kir go, "Oh, you are in the Blue House." What is Kir? He's a human being. He can go at any time. Why not? So these are things that made our people not to be proactive in this area, and they just like waiting for what happened, let it happen.
Yeah,
even now for the election that you are talking about, if you go for election, you will have to go to register. You will have to be a citizen, and you have all these things. Imagine I took my own brother to the migration office in Wow. This is my brother, and I was the director general in the Ministry of Health. This is my brother, please, and the name is the same, concurrent, finishing the last name Nella and everything. Say, "Who are you?" Say, "I'm this, and my last name is this. Can you bring your chief to come?" "Yes, these are very good steps." The chief was brought. "Are you sure that this man is from here?" "Yeah, the chief said he's from here." Somebody from Gogrial, a young man, 19 years of age, has put as an officer, interrogating you like this. 19 years. And I am 50-something by then. I was born in Wow. Even the place where he's staying in now, interrogating my brother, this is where my father was there as a surgeon in the police. Now he's asking me a question. Somebody who didn't know what is there. Are these things that people could say, even in America here? I cannot be interrogated like this, that from where are you? I say, "I'm this, and I'm from South Sudan, and my papers are here, and I'm given a citizenship." Why ask this question? And that no, colonials come from Central Africa. So if Kir and his people are saying you from Central Africa, do you think that you can be proactive? Why do you want to be proactive and you are labeled to be from Central Africa? These are things that you have to ask these questions, and you have to answer it also. Why?
But the doctor, I see what you're saying there. However, the burning question would be this: if this continues to be the way we react, or this is the way we take it up, all right, how are we going to break through? There will be no breakthrough, because if we are doing this, Western Equatoria is doing that, Central Equatoria is doing that, Eastern Equatoria is doing, Upper Nile is doing, whatever is doing that, then really, can it be that this is the way the country goes? Because I believe if that is the case, then we are better off as a nation by ourselves. Don't you think? Because if you cannot say a thing, nobody want to react. We all want to just become a reactionarist. We don't want to be proactive. Okay, because if we say something, or for Blue House, if you say this, you will be suppressed by the security agents, whatever, all of that. Until when? Because if we're saying we have to wait until the next government comes in, we need to have participated, played a role in whatever the activity is that will bring up the next government. Because if we just say, well, because of all of that, that's why we're not always proactive, because things do come back negatively for us. I believe it then should be a motive for us to become more active to break that yoke. Or don't you think so?
I think you are right. But the problem here is that we have to motivate our people. We have to tell them the new thing about what is happening now, that you should not keep like what you are doing. You have to change the strategy that you are doing things so that we can cope up with these people. Because if you do that, then we will be always complaining, and we will not take things ahead. But now we have to be with our people who are going ahead to do things. Let's say the people for change and people who are coming up. We support them and we act like them so that we can get what we need.
Okay, that's it, and I believe that is a full topic to discuss, because being reactionarist doesn't really help. That's one thing I can see anywhere in Junub Sudan. If people all become numb, then we are actually giving that Hakuma a blank check to continue ruling us the way they want. But if people are making noise and whatever, being proactive and active in doing a lot of things, this Blue House, if we all march to that Blue House, will they actually push us all in? Will it take all of us?
No.
It won't. It won't. If we all march in and they start shooting us, how much bullet will they actually discharge before these same soldiers start saying, this is our brothers, this is our sisters, this is our relatives? How long would that be? I believe it won't be that long. They might have gunned down 50,000, but they will not get to 100,000 without stopping and asking themselves that question. Let's move to the next question. A question from a viewer in regards to the fate of the the lions. Is asking, what about the fate of the lions? And I believe that is in regards to if the people are not being reactive and not being proactive because of the things that examples you've given, and then because every time the people move on to do something, it is used against them. Now with the lions have the teeth. They are the one who are really protecting the entire state of Bahar al-Usud. What about their fate? And of course, also that links to what is going on now. That is from brother Stanley Luade. If you do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, the people of Usud or the Usud of Western Barakazal, they just like what you are saying, that when they started as a nucleus, it was a reaction to what is happening to all the people in Western Barakazal. So they opt to say, no, we are not going to agree with that. And what can we do? Because the regime there believe that it is only by force that you can achieve your goals. Negotiation is not anything to them. You can negotiate, you can go to conferences, you can go to everything, and the result is nothing. But our people say, if your brother open his eyes to you, open your eyes to him. So this is what these people, the Usuds, came at the end to see that if things are like that, then we have to jump out also and take arms. Where did this guy get their arms? So we have to find also another thing to protect ourselves. And then we confront them. So even if their number is less, even if they are not many as the other people, but they are causing a resistance. الناس بيقول مرقود كان في السرير بتاعك ما بيخليك تنوم. مرقود واحد كيتش كل يوم فوق كيتش، لكن انت عندك ناس كتير لكن مرقود واحد بعديك. So this usud is like cinnamon to مرقود. They are there, and their presence there makes us to be happy. We wish that they should be strong. We wish that they should be there because they are the one now protecting us, because the youth stood. They resist. Let us say something just like this imposed on you people, that your county is to be taken to Bagari. Even some from this indigenous, some from this ethnic group, they told us that, you know what, these people is a propaganda, is a policy of the government to take you out, and tomorrow you will be out from this town. You are the indigenous people of this area. There are people who live with us from this community who like to be even part of people in Wow. They say you have to open your eyes. The policy of taking the town to the villages was made by our leader, John Garang. Doesn't mean that you have to take the established place and put it in another place here. Bagari and other places are places that we need them to develop. When late Garang was here, he was studying in Iowa, he knew that, yes, when I think Nyandeng even saw this thing, we were driving from Iowa to New York, and every place you can find food, you can find water, you can find the telephone, you can find everything. That is what? That is because there is khadamat fi mahalat de kullu, services. So if you take services to the people out there, automatically, if I go and find that there is services in Busere, that I can have my Wi-Fi, I can have a school for my children, I can have medicine, I can have hospital. Why should I waste my time in Wow? Say I want to go to stay in Busere, and I would like it because of the environment there, pollution, nothing. So these people will go automatically. So the policy of the government of saying taking Wow to Bagari is something that they resisted. And that is why they also have to support the youth. The youth were the one who did that. But since they don't understand the language of negotiation, the language peaceful negotiation, they want only things by force. And these people say, okay, we will be behind you to support you. So the Usud are there to support the youth, whom I have said before, who came out with the leaves to say we want our county not to be transferred. And this statement of transferring Wow to Bagari is still on the agenda. And we are saying that the government should remove this from the agenda. For peace to prevail in Western Barikazal, let them scrap this Bagari thing and put another thing for us. Otherwise, we are going to be in problem in Western Barikazal.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Just with that, let me ask you the last question, because I might have to invite some people, open up for them, whoever have questions to come up if they have to, if you do still have time. The last thing that has a link to what you've just said, what is your take on the recent, leave my way of putting it, but the real question is the recent gameplay that has taken place in Bahar al-Usud state by replacing Angelo Taban as the vice governor with what is his name, Joseph Garang or Zakaria Garang, whatever the name is. It's not important that much, but the new deputy governor. What is your take on that? And I'm saying it because the question has to be linked with what you've just talked about, the agenda to move Wow to Bagare. So that would be the last question, and I'll put up the link for everyone who wants to come up.
I will answer this because I've been in Wow there. And I just want to say, if you look into our constitution, the one of Western Barikazal, and this is what I know, that if the governor is from the Fertit, or from the Fertit, let us say the 26 tribes of Western of the Fertit, Then the deputy should always come from the Ju River, which is the Luo or the people of Maria Pride. This is there, I think, depicted in the constitution of Western Barakazal. That is it there. Because you can see in Lebanon or in other places, they say, okay, the government, the president is this, is a Catholic or you're a Christian, the Muslim should be, this is there in the constitution. Or if it is not depicted, but it is something automatically that we seem to observe from the time Nipoch was there, maybe Michael came, maybe this Waya came, there is other guy came. You can see also deputized by somebody. If the vice president, if the governor is Luo, as I say in the case of Elia Waya, Andrea Dominic was the vice. It goes straight like that. Or sometimes they'll put somebody in the parliament. The head of the parliament should be from Luo. But this time, things change. When they put Sarah, and Sarah is from the Fertit. And again, they came out and then put Angelo Taban to be a deputy. People were raising eyes, bro. What is wrong? What had happened in Western Barakazal? Because that cannot happen. Because the Luo are part of our body. They are the people part and parcel of Western Barakazal. They have the chance to be in the government. But the Luo were excluded. Why? We were asking this question. So some people say, oh, there was a dispute between the Luo people because they want somebody to step down to another and something like that. And some people say, oh, okay, maybe the government's policy or something like that. But Angelo Taban came up to the government. This is what we know, and we heard it. Open heart, say, you know what? You want Bulgaria to be transferred to be transferred to Bulgaria? I will do it.
I'm the man.
I will do it. I'm the man for you. See, he with the big belly, he said, I will do it. So he came out to Kir and said, okay, if you want to do it, you can do it. We can put you at the deputy. Say, I can do it. So this man was put deputy because of the fact that he will materialize what is happening with the Gen Council. So now time is gone. And the Usul say, yeah, Bulgaria is there. You cross, go to Bulgaria, and we'll see who will go there. They came with a weapon, we came with everything. They even consulted with the OC of the area in Grinty. Say, you know what? I don't want to put my people at risk. Since there is peace prevailing now in Western Barakazal, let the people enjoy the peace, Jama. We don't want troubles. Why are you cracking your head? People are in peace. Talk about something different. Why is it particular that the government wants to take this thing to Bulgaria? This is not essential. So if the OC said so, and now Angelo Taban cannot do that alone because he thought maybe the OC will bring the army and then he will walk to Bulgaria with the Doshka. This didn't happen. So when Kir came out and found that this man cannot fulfill what he did, then why keep him there? Strip him of this power. So that is why he was demoted. When he was put there, even I asked him this question. I said, is it not a demotion for you, Mr. Vice Governor?
Former governor to deputy governor.
Because you were the governor of one. Now again, you to be deputizing somebody. Why? He said, no, it is not a demotion. I am the ruling party. I have many people in the parliament. I have 9 or 10 ministers. I am actually the governor. Imagine. How can you be a governor and there is a governor there at that time? He declared himself he was a governor. Because he had the power from our president.
Yeah.
But now, where is he? I think he's not going to be anywhere in Western Barakazal. He has to go to Juba, where Kir will give him a position there. Because he had already taken the top position in Western Barakazal, the governor and the deputy. Where is he going to go? Can he be a minister? Can he be a commissioner? No. So yes, he's done. He said it, and I quote that, I will walk to Bagari on blood. That was what he said. Very proud. So Kir, there is one thing in Kir. If he doesn't like you, whatsoever you do, he will always tell you, go away. And you will go. He tells somebody that if you lurk behind the cross, I'll kill you. Imagine. Is that the Christian? If you lurk behind the cross, I'll shoot you. This is a statement from the president. Like what he said in Wow on the 24th of December, that أنا لو كان هنا أنا كان بعمل أكتر من الرزق عمله. Is that the statement of a president? إنتوا قتلتوا دينجا. يا جماعة, what is wrong with this problem? Can the president always say this thing? Can he not keep it in his mind? You are the father of the children, and if a child today says something bad, you have to keep it quiet. This is our president.
So, from what you're saying, Angelo Taban failed to execute one of the documents he has in his briefcase as a deputy governor. Now we have the new deputy governor. Do you also speculate that the new deputy governor, also one of the documents he has in his briefcase, is Mawdu Bata Mugata? Wow. Would it be right?
Yeah, I know Will Zakaria, Joseph Garang. When I was there, he was the deputy. He was the deputy of Rizk Zakaria. I congratulated him during that day when he became as the the deputy governor. He is a guy, education-wise, he's better than Angelo Taban. He's a graduate from university. He is somebody who had lived with the people in Wow from childhood. He played football in Medan Isaac and all these places with the youth. He knows the people, not because he's the governor, he knows the people from their families by the fact of his father. His mother, I know, Santa, was working in Wow. Everybody knows her. So we who grew in Wow know, although they were in Khartoum, but they come to Wow and we know them. So this guy, he is somebody who is liberal. He is not a yes man. This is what I know. He's not a yes man. And if somebody comes to him and say, you do this, he will not do it. Especially that he comes from a different ethnicity, from Luo. He will not interfere with what is happening in Bagari. He will not. This thing of Bagari came even during the time of Mark Newport, who is a Luo. They proposed this thing to him that, we want Wow to be transferred to Bagari. And this man said, we have just come from the bush and we want to do other things. There are things very important than these Bagari things. Why are you taking this as a first option? There are many things that we can do. So he played this thing cool down and everything. And that was it. Rizzi could have done the same thing. But Rizzi came to find himself that he is most courageous. He can act on behalf to please Mr. Kir so that he can get more position. But he doesn't know that he's staining his name, his relationship with his people in Western Barakazal. At the end, if anything happens to Rizk now, where do you think he's going to be taken? Just a question.
not to Baralusut.
No, because Barasud is a place where he is there, his mother is there, he's with the community there. Where is he going to go? He's going to go to Warab. People of Warab are not going to accept it. He's going to Torib. No, people of Torib, they say no. He's going to come where? To Wow. So, please, there is one thing that I always say, and it is not tribal. It is say when your people, all of them say this thing is this, we have to follow, you have to follow with them and give them reasons. If you know that you don't want to follow them, give them a strong, concrete reason such that you defer, you have to distract them from that idea and come to your side. But otherwise, you have to be. That is why sometimes people say tribalism, but it is true. I cannot go and stay in a hot pan and leave my people or go. نشوف مويه بارد.
That's true.
So why should I always go more sukun? So our people who are now with they are in the more sukun. And when more sukun they second, but then where will they come? Is the point. Yeah. So
Thank you.
So Zakaria is somebody that I know, not that the people of Wa know him, and he is not going to put the agenda of Bagara. This is what I assume. Although he is going to be given, he's not going to play with it like what Taban did, because Taban was 100% that he is from the major tribe from Western Barakazal, from the Balanda, and he will do that and something to please Kir. But now Zakaria is a Luo, and he is from Wow. Actually, he grew up in Wow. Although he was coming Wow Khartoum, he studied. He knew everybody in Wow. He's not going to do that. He's not going to take the agenda of Kir. If Kir wants him to go out, he will go. Why not? Just because he wants to stay in his name because of this, so that tomorrow, where are his children going to be? Kir is going to go.
Yes.
He's going to go. But he's going to remain with the people in Wow. So I'm sure Zakaria will not follow the step of Angelo Taban.
Thank you so much. And indeed, that's what I said yesterday in تلفزيون Sudan. قلت نفس الكلام. إنه he has to make use of his own brain because حكومة هيمشي. He's still young. يعني هو في عمر لسه قدامه كذا حكومات. So الناس اللي قاعدين يبرجلوا حاجات في حكومات حسب ده الناس ما عارفين أصلا. When this government is gone, يا مش قاعدوا يزرعوا. They will never يعاتب أي باب حكومة باب بتاع حكومة تاني. They know it. So that's why they stain their name in blood, in whatever. Dr. Arkangelo Bambo, this past 2.5 hours has been so great. كلام كتير, كلام ما بخلصه في يوم واحد. You did well breaking down into bite chunks to our people the issues that has transpired to around South Sudan in the past couple of weeks. That is the People's Coalition for Civil Action Declaration and the Gitguang Declaration as well. We've put it in a form that الزول الجاري في الشارع ما يفتكر انه حاجه ده بحصل ولا بحصل لكن يفهم انه في مشكله حاصل. At least they can say something about it. Thank you so much for coming. 2.5 hours is great, and I don't believe anyone wants to come up because these are the issues that are really giving people a hard time to digest because people are not quite sure where South Sudan is going now. This fighting coming up and everything is going, left and right. And so I would say we will stop here and we will have more talks when new developments comes up. It's you are the person to go to because you do have your way of looking into it. Like we said, you don't need to be an expert to discuss the stuff, but you only need to be an observer, someone who can see what is going on and digest it in your way and put it to some people out there so people can get it. I believe. Yes.
Excuse me. I think if you can give me 1 minute or 10 minutes to
yes,
say something.
Definitely.
Yeah. The thing that happened the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, which pained me badly, is the idea that happened between the people from Western Barakazal and Western Equatoria.
The Western Equatoria. Yeah.
That is something very sensitive, and it had happened, and we got a lot of people talking, and some people have to insult even some people from Western Barakazal that we are cooperating with the government, we are doing whatnot, and we are the cause of what is happening in Western Equatoria. As an elder and as somebody who was born in Wow, I want to say something just to our brothers from Western Equatoria to hear that the confusion that has taken place now, and we regret to see our people in Tombora and then other places suffering now, their houses burn and there are no shelter and they are running about. This is something that is very painful for us in the diaspora here to hear. And the message that we got from the bishop of the area was something that encourages us to say, we have to say something to support what the bishop has said. This is an elder, this is a clergyman, this is a man who stay with the people. And he said, I cannot know the difference between a Balanda and a Zande who are in Tombora. I cannot. Imagine if a bishop is saying that. Can somebody from another place say this? So the way the bishop put it was something that impressed me, and it really hits me at heart. And I want to say this thing to our people, the Azande people, which I really think that this is the biggest people, even second after the Dinkas in South Sudan, the Azande people. They are peaceful people, they are respected people, they are people who can really even can govern the whole of South Sudan. But with the fact that the things turn to be like what is had happened now, the confusion that had happened in Western Equatoria is the policy of the government. We cannot go around and say this is Balanda and this is Zande, because these people have lived for over 60 to 20 to 100 years in that area, and there was nothing. The government, the British were there, nothing. The Arabs came, nothing. What about the regime of this man? What happened? Because the regime is actually creating problem between people so that they can fight and then they can remain in power. This is the pure policy of the government. So the people of Western Barakazal or the people of Western Equatoria should not hang their head and then say they are looking behind. And as I said, the politicians who are there are the ones that's getting food to eat and feed belly, and they don't care about their people. Let them be killed. The same thing that happened now in our area. People get money and they say, forget about Gediye Ptak, which was something which was our elderly people didn't do it. They have to stand like that. Which now the politicians in Western Equatoria could also flame up this problem, because they went to Kir, get them money, get them weapon, and they were told, why do you allow a governor who is not from your ethnic group, from Zande, to be the governor? And people say, oh, if that is the case, we have to take something. We have to take these people out. But these people are the indigenous people of the area. You cannot differentiate the Balanda from a Zande who are there. They speak Zande. Even from us, we from Western Barakazal, if you go there, when you look at them, you say it's Zande. So how is it that they are now crystallized or make to be, this is Zande and this is Balanda? This is what policy of the government. So the government wants that to happen, so that these people knock their head and then they kill themselves, because the government actually wants to get the territory to go in, because they want to find borders according to what they say in the Gen Council plan. They want to have borders in Central Africa, in Congo. They don't have borders. They say they are inside, landlocked, like the Sudan, and they want to find the borders to get out. So this is the policy of the government. And I want to tell my people from Western Equatoria and people from Western Barakazal that they have lived for years and nothing. In Wow, there is something called Ilezande. In Wow, those of James Tombora, those of what do you call it, you name it, Dominic Cassiano, and everybody, they were the people of Wow. I was hearing from Uncle Arthur, he was saying that Cassiano himself, who was the father of Dominic, was a chief in Wow in 1945. Imagine, Zande, up to now, there are Zande there. There are Zande there who are people of Wow. There are Dinkas there who are people of Wow. There are everybody from even Equatoria who are there who are people of Wow. Wow is a place where it accommodates everybody. We don't have differences. If you come to Wow, drink water of Wow, and act like people of Wow, you will live in peace. But if you come and want to say you want to do something, then this is where you go in troubles with people of Wow. So the Zande and the Balanda, or the people of Western Barakazal, they are one people. There is no difference between them. And you take this from me. I don't want to name the name of people who did this thing in Western Equatoria, But they said to say Abdallah Ujang is going to kill people. What does Abdallah Ujang want to do with you people there? Abdallah Ujang has his own problem in Western Barakazal. He wants to solve it with his suit. What will take him to go up to cross to Western Equatoria to fight? So is there any sense there? So there was somebody who came up and insulted all our leaders in Western Barakazal, including even the current governor, which was so shameful. And you people came out and said that this man should come on the screen here and apologize to you, because if he doesn't, then there is a way that we are going to deal with him. According to the way that he came illegally in this country, we are going to find it out. So I urge him, if he's listening to this, that he should come up and apologize for what he had done. And then we talk to our people who are in the Azande area there, that you try to solve your problem there, the political issues that you are there having with the government. You people were being the strongest people. You were the Dinga, the Azande kingdom was there. We know about them. Now they should not be down. You should raise your hand up. Imagine those of Abu John, imagine those of Dominic Cassiano, ever those who were there as the leaders in Western Equatoria. These are the people that we can reckon with. So, in short, I just want to say this because this is an opportunity that I get, and I may not get it. So I want to talk this to these people of Western Equatoria. And believe me, we are one people, and there is nothing that will divide us. The government policy wants, even from Western Barakazal, wants to mix the Luo with the Ferti so that they fight. Wants to mix the Balanda with the Ndogo so that they fight. Wants to do this is their character. They want to do that. But you people, my people, Western Barakazal up to Western Equatoria, you be vigilant. There is nothing that will make you kill one another because of money of petrol. We don't depend on petrol. Our money is on the floor, on the ground. There, we can take our cassava and eat it, and we can educate our people. We don't have the money of petrol. This money of petrol will vanish one day, like when it is dries up, and people will come back again to purpur, like last time when they went to say purpur. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well said, Dr. Arkangelo. There is no great ending like what you just did. Your message is heard. Your message is out there. Even if the message hasn't got to the people, who I'm quite sure one of the viewers will pass the message on. Our video never get deleted. It is there. Whoever wants to hear will get to the video and watch it. Thank you so much, Doctor. I'll give you your leave to leave, and I'll finish the show here. And like I said, there are a lot of things still happening. In the next few days, the outlook looks like there's going to be too much talking. So about things that is happening in South Sudan. So we will be catching up again.
You can take me out of the screen, but I will be interested to hear all the viewers what they will say. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We put that. Yes. No problem. To our viewers, this was. That was Dr. Arkangelo Nella giving us his own digestions of the events that has been taking place in Junub over the past couple of weeks. I've put the link out there for people to come in if they have anything to say or even comments to make, or even if you have other questions that you feel like you want to ask Dr. Arkangelo directly. He is still here. He's not gone. He's just down. He's hearing what we're saying here. So I'll post the link again and wait for a few minutes. I'll play a song actually a while to give some people a chance to follow the link to come up. Dictor, you're with us. You can grab a bottle of water. Yes, we'll play a song. We'll come back again while people are coming in. Yep.
تكون وطني وتقول لا لا لزول ما دار يقدم شاب. أبقى راجل وتكون وطني وتقول لا لا لانبساط. ابقى راجل وتكون وطني وتقول لا لا لزول ما دار يقدم شاب. قول لا لو يهود بشيل فطور بشيل غدا ويشيل عشاء. ابقى راجل وتقول لا لا وتبقى الجهل. قول لا لو يهود بشيل فطور ويشيل غدا ويشيل عشاء. ابقى راجل وتقول لا لا وتبقى الجهل. وطني وتقول لا لا لزول ما دار يقدم شاب. أبقى راجل وتكون وطني وتقول لا لا لانبساط. ابقى راجل وتكون وطني وتقول لا لا لزول ما دار يقدم شاب. قول لا لو يهود بشيل فطور بشيل غدا ويشيل عشاء. ابقى راجل وتقول لا لا وتبقى الجهل. قول لا لو يهود بشيل فطور ويشيل غدا ويشيل عشاء. ابقى راجل وتقول لا لا وتبقى الجهل. تلقي قوان يا بيلويل أسبي لما جن زمن كان ميتك مشغول كمو ميدكا يكا ميدكا ويد جورنا جالغا مقوان يا بيلويل أسبي لما جن زمن كان ميتك مشغول كمو ميدكا يكا ميدكا ويد جور جالغا مقوان يا بيلويل أسبي لما جن زمن كان ميتك مشغول كمو ميدكا يكا ميدكا ويد جور بابا أفريقيا والدي ولا جلون والجدي بابا أفريقيا والدي ولا جلون والجدي ميزاز بيلا ما هو جلال كونا مومي ذكاني كان قابدي ميزاز بيلا ما ويد جور كونا مومي ذكاني كان قابدي إنكي نرجع بيلا مريات أجل وين 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 جيت يوم توان ميزاز بيلا ما هو جوي إنكي نرجع بيلا مريات أبلا وين 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 جيت يوم توان ميزاز بيلا ما هو جوي إدان وانا يجرني ما وين ميزاز بيلا ما هو جوير إباني وانا يجر مونا وين ميزاز بيلا ما هو جوي إجاي وانا كمل بايا وين وميزاز بيلا ما هو جوي بنكيري يتده تنم لون مار ميزاز بيلا كيدي دي يتده تنم لون مار ميزاز بيلا إدان وان يوب ورني إدا سابا جيري إدان كنج جنبايا كل يوم بولوين إدان وان جاد كلام قج كوما بجيري إدان كنج جنبايا كل يوم بولوين إدان وان يوب ورني إدا سابا جيري إدان كنج جنبايا كل يوم بولوين إدان نورو جول وانيور كوما بجيري إدان كنج جنبايا كل يوم بولوين Abang dargin bi banyak kwawe wasbelam ke aitimu. Abang dargin bi tangnya kwawe wasbelam ke aitimu. Bankire yetede yanam long mar mizas belam. Kidide yetede yanam long mar mizas belam. Bankire yetede yanam long mar mizas belam. Kidide yetede yanam long mar mizas belam. زمن كميركا مشغول كمو ميدكا ميركا ويد جور جالغا مكوايا بيغ يلويل أسبيل لما مجل زمن كميركا مشغول كمو ميدكا ميركا ويد جور جالغا مكوايا بيغ يلويل أسبيل لما مجل زمن كميركا مشغول كمو ميدكا ميركا ويد جور بابا بركا بالدي ولا جلون ولا جياي بابا بركا بالدي ولا جلون ولا جياي ميزاز بيلا ما هو جلال كونا مو ميدي كاني كان غابدي ميزاز بيلا ما ويدي جوار كونا مو ميدي كاني كان غابدي
I do understand that there's someone coming up. Brother Bidal Lola Suba, you are following the link in your inbox for Messenger. I'm not sure why you couldn't see the link that I've posted out in the comment, but it's all good. If you're on your way coming in, I'll give you a few minutes because I wouldn't want to hold the doctor for long. I'm quite sure by now it is probably around 1 or 2 in the morning. So for him there, I wouldn't want to hold him that much, sitting there and waiting, because he's interested to hear anyone who comes up with any statement or comment or have a question, so that he can either, if it's a question for him, he can try to answer it. Like we said, no one here is an expert. We are all here extracting what our intellectual thinking is all about. That's what we are extracting. We are not claiming to be the ones, but we are just extracting things as we read them. We read between the lines, and we are all entitled to our own opinions. So I hope you're on the way, or anyone else is coming. Otherwise, really, in the next 5 minutes or so, I will then have to just end the show, because there will be no point sitting here waiting and no one is coming, because actually what is happening, these are the events. These are developing events. It hasn't finished yet. You know, the People's Coalition for Civil Action, call for civil action, is still in its infancy. They're still mobilizing. This is the stage they are in. They're still mobilizing the people of South Sudan. It hasn't finished. They haven't got anywhere around where they want it to be. They're still doing it. Still moving on. You know, the Gitguang declaration sort of starts cementing itself by the fighting. You know, after this fighting, if there was any chance of reconciling, that chance has evaporated already. You know, with the fight, that chance is no longer there. Now it is my enemy, your enemy. Now this is where they are. You're my enemy, I'm your enemy. You know, you're my target now, you're my legitimate target, I'm your legitimate target. So that's what is happening there. Of course, we touch few things, especially in Bahar al-Usud state with the lions. You know, we are not quite sure which stand are they on. Are they standing on their 2 feet or 1 feet, you know, ostrich style, 1 feet on the ground, 1 feet up? We don't know. It's questions that have popped up for the politicians in the state, especially the politicians who were in an IO that belongs to the former commander-in-chief, Dr. I keep saying former because the reality says he's a former now. That was based on the reason he was part of that revitalized peace agreement, is because he had army. But now that his army is split into two, Kir is just sitting there looking at him and going like, "Yeah, koi." It has a guide Kif. That will be the question, and eventually he is insignificant now. You know. The people will come up and say, no, he's got everything. No, there's not everything there. The only little thing that was he was hanging to was his loyal soldier that he had in the bush. But now there is an actual split and the actual fighting among themselves, that is no longer really. He is becoming weak and weaker and weaker. Even Vice President Waniga is much stronger than Dr. Riek right now. You know, the other 4 vice presidents are more stronger than Riek himself now. I'm not quite sure when Riek gets up in the morning, if tomorrow Monday, going to his office, whether he will be looking ahead or he'll be looking on the ground. I'm not sure. Because this question of how can you have 2 different political bureaus? You have a military council by Behalu Kulu Gadinbara, General. How many generals does he got in Juba in order to call them military council, for instance? Yes, he might have the politicians with him because it's Juba. He might have politicians, few of them, 2-3 members of the political bureau, but they might take that political decision. But the fact that the generals themselves ousted their commander-in-chief, Riek has no place as an army, as a general or as an officer. ده حاجات بديهية. but طبعا هيلعبوا بالموضوع, هيقلبوا سياسة ويقلبوا يمين وشمال, but it won't work. So we talked a lot. It has been 3 hours. Doctor, I believe no one is coming. I will actually, I'm grateful that you've given us your time. You waited even after you have talked for 2 hours and a half. You waited, but no one is talking. But the information that you have given to us is valuable. People have heard it. We know that for sure. People have heard it. I've learned things. People have learned few things. So that's okay. We will continue the talk. There's a lot of things happening. Like I said, maybe we will pull you back tomorrow. Something drastic has taken place, so we might pull you again and say, "Look, sorry, you got to come back again." But other than that, thank you so much. You may take your leave. Thank you so much. Good night as well. Viewers of ZööMTV, our today's episode was with Dr. Arkangelo Nella, who was our guest for the past 3 hours. We discussed few issues that pertaining to our country, the current events, things that in particular, we took 2 only. We took the PCCA and we took the Gitwang declaration. Both of them are declarations, and we try to put some down-to-earth explanation of some of the things that are contained in it. With that, I would say being with you was very enjoyable, as always, as every week. Next week we'll meet here again, the same platform. Unless we decided something emergent happened during the week, emergency, that will come in. Otherwise, until we meet next week, look, enjoy it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good morning, wherever you are, whatever your time is. This has been Ndirandali Ugur at ZööMTV. Thank you.
Ya mama, ya nana nana, Junubia zenajima, ya najima najima, Junubia jua kamara ya habibi, Junubia jua kamara kefni saniya, niya kiafa zenajima, najima najima, niya jabila zenajima wo, najima najima kumuriya kumore fishajara, kugol biniya biniya kumuriya binakni شجرة وقول بنية دولة بتاعنا دولة دولة أنا دقنا باب ماما كل ودا علينا نينا قلنا سلامات لمريم هي سلم علينا نينا قلنا أقفوا كلوا وقفوا لنا جنوب يا نانا يا نانا نانا بابا بفكر في الشجرة عشان يربي يلو ماما بفكر في الدنيا عشان ما يتشاف بنية بفكر في قلبه عشان محبة جنوب يا ماما يا نانا نانا بنية قيافة زي نجمة 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 بنية جميلة زي نجمة وو نجمة نجمة قمرية بقوري في الشجرة بقول بنية بنية جنوب بنغنغ في الدنيا بقول بنية بنية جنوب يا جوا قمرة هي جنني جنوب يا جوا قمرة كيف خلانية جنوب يا بابا جنني كمان 3 بنات أنا لقيتهم في السكة أنا شفتهم ماشي لمدرسة حبيبية 7 بنات أنا لقيتهم في السكة دي أنا شفتهم ماشيين كنيسة كله جيرانية بنية بسلي لربنا بنية 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 بمجد ربنا شوف بنية بنية مسؤولية الواحد في الدولة يا نجمة نجمة مسؤولية 2 في الدنيا يا بنية بنية مسؤولية 3 في الدولة دي يا بابا ماما جنوب يا ماما عليزا يا ودي شباب جمجمة جنوب يا سيستا يا مبلد مشوار جنوب يا ماما يا مدوى وبني مسؤولية واحد دولة يا نجمة نجمة مسؤولية 2 دنيا يا بنية بنية مسؤولية 3 دولة